This is a production of Darn TV.
Now they have audio to Facebook land. We're good to go now. Had a soundboard malfunction. We're going to start this again. My name is Brandon Beater. We're live from the Magic City Car and Trade Show, and I got the music rolling. This is called Motivation.
Music song.
It's gets you going.
Oh yeah.
You know, gets people ready to go for the show that we're going to have. And I got Laela and Amelia Eisenshank.
Yep.
We're on your page. I'm new to it. We're going to go all over the place. What did we start with last time that nobody got to hear?
Cookies.
Yeah, we were talking about cookies. Cookies. You sell your own cookies or you make your own cookies. We were talking about food. Ham and cheese balls, ham and cheese omelets, my go-to at the Shots Truck Stop.
Yep.
Okay, you guys need to get ham and cheese balls for your...
our food shack at the go-kart track. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to get ham and cheese balls and then the pepper jack mac and cheese bites. Both of them are fried, so you can cook them right.
Easy deal.
Easy deal. And you sell. They will be your highest selling item, I promise. And then we got going on. You sell cookies there.
Yeah.
Do you actually make the dough yourself? Make everything yourself, or are they store bought?
No, I make it all myself at Petro. Yep.
You make it at Petro.
I make it at Petro in the kitchen and get them all packaged up. Bring them to the cart track about 30, 40 a night, and I sell out. So.
Wow.
It's a good deal for her.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good
you don't get in on it?
Nope.
You
I
should
get the dirty work. I gotta cut the lettuce. I gotta cut the onions. I gotta de-thaw the hamburger meat for the tacos. I gotta go to Costco and Sam's. Then she gets to make more money on top of it, doing less work.
That's not true.
It's called working smarter, not harder.
She don't know how to cook or cut the
You don't know
lettuce
how to
or
anything.
onion, whatever she
Yes,
just
I know how
listed.
to do. I know how to do that. No.
So are you guys in charge of the food shack?
Yeah.
And you have to sell it and everything that night, or do you have people that help you sell stuff, or is it you two in there?
It's us, just usually us two.
Just you two.
Sometimes we recruit our siblings, but
Yeah, we get the food, we sell it, we have to count the money and keep track of it.
It's a good experience though
for sure.
for life.
Yeah.
I mean, to make you.
yeah, it's pretty cool because like the go-kart track there, it's like ran by a bunch of kids that grew up racing there.
Yeah,
so
we
like
grew up with
Yeah.
them.
all the flag guys and everything are just people that are kids that grew up racing there. So it's pretty fun. Like
Yeah,
So-
we have fun.
So when people out there, I'm sticking up for you here. I'm not bashing. When people out there go, oh, they're just Donnie Schatz' nieces. They get whatever they want. They don't have to work for it. That's BS.
yeah, we work.
Yeah,
You guys have to go to work for it.
Yeah, we
in
do.
your own food shack.
Yeah, in the food shack.
We work in the food shack every Monday night.
Yeah. Then you make your mom sell your cookies at the truck stop.
Which is that?
No,
Layla's
Petra.
making bank off that.
So I sell them to her for $3. She resells them for $4.29. But I own all my ingredients.
Still,
so it's
still a bad
she's
deal.
making money off my cookies.
$1.
$1.29.
Well, but I mean, that's a pretty good markup. Usually it's like a
Yeah.
30% markup. That's a
There-
little more
I
than
have
30%.
complaints that they're too expensive.
But
do
they are
get
this
complaints.
big.
They're big like that. But
So
there's
when
people
you're
that
rolling
complain
through
here
when
and
you're
there.
rolling through Fargo, maybe my wife's watching. When we roll through Fargo, we swing into Petro, we fill up with gas. When I go in there, when I see the cookies next time, usually she has to grab me by the ear when I get over by the display of like die casts and stuff. She's
Oh,
like, "You
yeah.
don't need any more," and she grabs me and yanks me out of there. But I'll find the cookies.
You'll find the cookies, and the cashiers will tell you how good they are.
And they
And the cashiers.
I gotta tell them, you gotta get them sold. I put them right by the cash registers, and they are gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have any make scotcheroos or something.
I'm
You'll never
going to put her out of business with something.
scotcheroos. If there's
Scotch-
any
No, there's already scotcheroos there.
oh.
Yeah. So
what are we going to come up with for you here?
I don't know. I'm not a really good cook.
No,
so I
she
don't.
can't cook at all. You wouldn't want to eat it. Like,
If you I don't know.
I
The
don't know.
pretzel market's already taken. You could just take a regular bag of pretzels and put some ranch seasoning in them and call them, Amelia's pretzels or something. And just put them into Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
Nobody would even know the difference.
No, that's true.
That'd be good.
That's how.
I gotta figure something out.
Do you guys like Dots pretzels?
Yeah, we like Dots.
Yeah, they sell Dots in there, I think, already.
Do you realize that that's from
Yeah,
Velva?
made down
Yep.
here.
Yeah. I mean, not anymore. They're owned by the Hershey company.
Yeah.
She went on to be a millionaire and retired by
Yeah.
now. God bless Dots, but they came from Velva.
Uh-huh.
That is
I know, that's
crazy,
cool.
and that
That's
started with her seasoning pack with just regular pretzels,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
how they started mixing them up. So I mean,
I really like Dots.
Yeah, you could get into that.
It's true. I mean, I could.
because nothing's better than salty and sweet.
That's true. We
Two
could
of both
pretzel
worlds.
cookie something.
Pretzel
Yep.
cookie something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember to cut me in.
Yeah,
Whatever happens,
paycheck.
just remember the little guys, the little people that got you to where you're going.
Yeah, our food business.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit over there. You went to sleep, but you stayed up for the Duke game last night.
Yeah, I looked over and she's just like
Zonked in the
Zonked out.
hotel.
No, I was up for 22 seconds to go, and then I must have been asleep.
Well, in the last 22 seconds, I think there was like 5 or 6 points scored
Yeah, there was.
by Houston to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
That
crazy
was,
game.
and you guys are basketball, girls. I mean, you played basketball
Little
growing
bit.
up.
Retired now.
Retired.
Retired. Yeah.
No more
That's how
basketball.
We don't really get into it, but we like to watch our brother play basketball.
Yeah, but I mean,
And the March Madness deal is kind of cool.
it's
we
cool to
we
watch.
watch those games, but we don't play basketball anymore. Well, we're gonna do a 3-on-3 this year.
3-on-3
This summer.
league or what?
Yeah,
League.
league.
They have them down in Fargo, or where do you guys
Yeah.
go?
Well, my mom actually has a sports complex in
'Kay.
Fargo that she kind of built for us when we were playing basketball, and they got a league this summer. So
3-on-3.
she's making us play in it.
Yep.
So it's like we're playing with another girl that doesn't play anymore either. So it's like 3 girls that don't play.
Yeah.
So
But we might win, actually.
yeah.
yeah,
Our third is pretty big.
I've never broadcasted a basketball game, but I know there's some racers that play basketball, and they're requesting my presence at their games. Maybe I'll come to a 3-on-3 game.
Yeah, you
Ooh,
might
yeah.
have to. It's gonna get interesting.
It's a league. Hopefully we don't get hurt, though, because, the summer is when we got to.
The amount of
do our job.
orthopedic stuff we're gonna have, I mean,
We've already.
we're gonna have to really be paying attention.
Some
so we don't-
injuries got in the way of your guys'
Yeah.
basketball playing,
oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I
'Cause
don't want to go back down that road.
You played for
No.
Kindred,
Yep.
the Vikings,
Yep.
and that's the only chance. I'm a Minnesota Vikings football
Oh,
fan.
yeah?
Yep.
That is the only chance the Vikings will ever have to win a championship is when Kindred does.
I heard the Minnesota Vikings might be good, though, this year.
That has been I'm 42 years
say
old,
that
and that has
every
been my
year.
life since
Yeah.
I was born.
They say that every year.
Yeah.
They come
Didn't they
out
trade
swinging.
some guys, though, or something?
Yeah,
They got some good
they
ones?
got some new guys.
Yeah.
New guys. They got rid of their quarterback, and then they got a new young kid, which I think you know who J.J. McCarthy
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
He's from Michigan.
I think all the girls like him. My daughter does. I
oh,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's pretty young.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to watch the Vikings. We sit on the couch on Sundays and
When we're not at
Watch.
Hughes sits and
Yeah.
And then on the first one that nobody could hear, we kind of talked some history. I went to Bishop Ryan. I graduated I think we figured out last night, 4 years behind your guys' mom.
Yep.
Deanne. And then Krista was a year older than me. Donnie, I don't know where he ended up. I think he graduated from mine at high, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah,
he was
he didn't go to
different.
Bishop Ryan.
He didn't go to
No.
Bishop Ryan. So there's a little bit of a connection. My kids graduate, or my daughter graduated. My son's a junior at Ryan right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a connection that goes back into your guys' past,
Yeah.
your family's past here, and
Yep.
mine not. I just wanted to give that. We're going to go back to basketball for a second. Today at 2 o'clock, South Carolina, the dominant team in women's college basketball for the last few years, is going up against UConn and Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is my daughter's favorite player.
Yeah.
So she's going to be here at 2, and we're going to somehow have the game on so we can watch it together, because that's kind of my daughter and I's pastime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She played basketball in high school, and we get to
Watch it.
connect and watch some of that stuff. That's all I got left, because she no longer needs me.
Yeah.
All I am is a dad now, so it's you'll grow up one day too, and you won't need mom. Maybe you guys are already that way. We don't need you, right?
No, we call our mom probably 16 times a day each.
When she's not with us.
Oh, Well, maybe my daughter calls her mom, too. Maybe it's just a dad thing.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe,
a dad
yeah.
thing.
Maybe.
But yeah, the basketball game should be good. 2:00.
Yeah, you guys will be signing autographs, I
yeah.
think, with Donnie from 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's going to be rolling in here this
Yeah,
afternoon.
you said he
so-
flew. He's on the plane flying here.
They took off at 10:00, I think it was. So
I thought maybe we'd see him early because they didn't race last night. They got canceled, right?
Yeah, they didn't race this weekend.
Well, his favorite thing to do is yard work. So
His favorite thing to do is yard work.
I don't think he's going to give up the time to miss out on any yard work. So
The insides of Donnie. I would have never. But maybe you're stuck with racing. You're doing racing all the time. That's
Yeah.
like a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a weekend off is a big thing for
He
him,
likes
so.
that,
Because
yeah.
I've seen him on Snapchat. I have him
Oh,
on
yeah.
Snapchat, and he's pushing snow at the Petro. He's doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
have you seen his singing videos?
I have not, but
Oh, you gotta look into that next time he posts.
the singing videos.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the singing videos. I don't know. I don't know how. I think his Snapchat's private. I don't know though because it seems like everyone has him on Snapchat, and he likes to post singing videos. So
But it might have been private at one time, and then we all got on there,
Yeah.
and then he tried to make it private, but we're still there.
yeah, I don't know. But he posts some interesting singing.
Or maybe
videos.
he has two of them. Maybe there's one that's ran by the marketing people and one that's private for him.
No, I think. Well,
He
I don't
runs
know.
his Snapchat.
Yeah, he's
Oh, okay.
got a Snapchat.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, if you've seen the snow blowing videos,
That's him.
That's him.
That's him, and the dog videos and all that.
That's him.
So
Oh, people are Jeff Richards. Love the accent. I don't know whose accent. Your guys' or mine.
we
Why do
always
we
get
always
made
get
fun
that?
of. For our
Everywhere you go
accent.
racing, you get made fun of because of the accent, or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
give you grief.
Everywhere.
Everyone asks where we're from. I'm like, we don't have an accent. You have an accent.
It's
Yeah.
the truth. Everywhere I go, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Well, you
people tell
sound
us.
weird.
Yeah.
No, I talked to real Canadians yesterday, and they have an accent. So, like, I don't think we even sound like the Canadians that people
No.
think we do. So
I go to Estevan Motor Speedway every Saturday night that they race, and they have accents.
Yeah.
We sound normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
then when you go south to race, they sound weird,
Yeah.
and we're still normal.
Yeah.
The
I agree.
Midwest is normal. Everybody else is weird.
Yeah.
Agree.
Agree.
We'll argue with that.
yeah.
We get told that all the time, though.
That
about
we
our
have ac-
O's.
Your
Yeah, we
O's?
get
Fun of
made
our
fun of
O's.
by our O's. Some of my bestest friends get like from like because we grew up racing go karts all over, and like all of our like the kids we grew up with don't live around us,
Yep.
and they always would make fun of our O's. I'm like, what do you like? There's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with you guys. But
I have no idea. So you guys started out. I'm going to learn a little history here because, I mean, I've paid attention to you guys. I've been, I think, your mom's friend on Facebook to see what goes on. You started in go-karts. 5 years old. We already hit that.
Yep.
Then you got your big car debut in a 305 sprint car.
Yep. At 14, 2022, we got into those.
And the IMCA sprint cars, I
Yep,
believe. They Race Saver.
305s. Yep.
Race
Sprint.
Saver, yep.
Savers.
Yep. And they ran them in Fargo. Did you guys go anywhere else?
The first year we kind of stuck around Fargo.
And
I don't,
Ada.
Yeah, Ada. We didn't race honestly that much the first year. We had two or three motors, and we ended up blowing up 2. And we ended up with 1. So we had to take turns, and we were kind of more focused on just, getting laps and, getting our
Learning,
feet wet a little
understanding.
bit. Yeah, and we went to a lot of Donnie's races. Like, we only probably raced 20, 30, maybe 30 shows between the two of us that first year.
first year, yeah. It was
But-
pretty slow.
The
yeah.
second year we had the same issue, blew up motors and ended up with 1, had to take turns.
Those 305s are so finicky. Like, all we've had is or engine issues the whole time. So
And that's what's funny. So IMCA is a series. They try to create divisions that are cost effective
Yep.
to the racers. And like in our classes, we run a crate motor.
Yep.
Or an open motor. You can build your own, but a lot of us choose to run the crate
Right.
motor. And the 305 was built as like a maybe inexpensive sprint car class. I've heard nightmares about the 305
Yeah.
engines.
oh
We've probably blown up 8 in 3 years.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's not good. If you're trying to create an inexpensive class,
Yeah,
It
not
hasn't
good
been
at
It's
all.
not good at
for
all.
us. Yeah, it's been hard. I mean, we've had it's been stuff that has some of them have been related by we messed something up, but some of them have also been like internal parts were bad when we got them, and
Like last year, you blew one up that made it 3 laps.
yeah,
just
dropped the valve. So it's just tough. I mean, like when you're trying to race all year long, 4 nights a week, you can't be blowing up, engines and
That is the last
can't
thing
get
you
them
can
back
have.
fast enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when there's 2 of us, you got to have 2 of everything at all times.
And we've went through
So-
our 305s to where we start with 4 a year and get down to 1 by the second month.
Yeah.
So it's like we've struggled with them a lot, and we've got into the late model a lot more, and now we have 410, so we're gonna try and get out of the 305s more. But
I was going to say, is this one behind us that they see in the picture, the wing, is that a 305?
that's a 410.
That's
It's a 410.
Yep, that's a 410.
So are both of you moving into a 410 this year?
Yep.
Yep,
We
we both
raced probably 7 nights last year in the 410. We tried to focus on only doing it on nights Donnie was there.
Oh, okay.
So he was there probably 4 nights out of the 7. And then we did an IRA thing that was 3 nights long. So that was all we did. And we only went to Grand Forks and then Ada. So
Is there a big difference? So you guys made that transition 305 to 410. Is there a big difference?
You mean, honestly, like we race late models. So
Yeah.
the
Right.
late models do have a lot of power. Like a lot of people think it's a Wasota car. Like it has more power than you think. And for us, we race on those big racetracks with those late models. And like for me, it wasn't a big jump. It didn't feel like a big jump. Obviously, the power, it's a big ratio. Like it's gonna help you. The car,
Yeah.
like when
Throttle
there's more
control,
power,
yep.
it helps the car. And the 305s just was so much of a momentum-based thing. Like you gotta always, get on the gas. It doesn't like go like right when you step on the gas. So
I've played iRacing, and
Oh,
I got
yeah?
the 305 sprint cars. I just hold it wide open all the way
Yeah,
around.
honestly, like the 305s, like you kind of when we got in the 410, for me, I had to learn it all over again. It didn't feel the same in any aspect compared to the
It's-
305. Like the 410 feels easier to drive because you can rely on your foot a little more. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
like Amelia said, it's a momentum game with the 305s, and you really got to be steady with your foot. And
I've never drove a sprint car, never raced one, but I hear that you have to you're 2-footing it all the time. You're using
Yeah.
the brake. You're maybe not rolling out of the throttle all the way. You're dragging the brake because a
Yep.
lot of them you only have left rear brake,
Yep.
don't you?
yeah,
Or the brake pedal kind of rolls on
yeah,
there.
I mean, you use a lot of brake in the 410. You try and stay out of it in the 305 because
Right.
again the power. But the 410, yeah, I mean, you watch some guys like Larson, their brakes are blowing sparks and they're
Yep.
glowing. Like you just kind of,
You're
some
like, how do they
racetracks
do
are
that?
demanding
Yeah.
that way and have to stay in the brake.
yeah, you rely on your brakes most of the time. Like for me, our family or like our driving style has always been like patience and use your foot, not just hold it wide open. And I mean that's how Donnie is. I mean he's probably one of the best with his foot. And
When the track slicks off,
Yeah.
and it takes, I call it the talent leaves the racetrack. That's what
Yeah.
I call it. It's just kind of one of them things because everybody can hold it wide open on a hammer down racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
When the talent leaves the racetrack and it comes to the driver to make his car hook up to the racetrack, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Donnie's the best.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's taught us in a way, if we wreck it, we're sitting out. Like we start with this on April 1st, and this is gonna make it to the end of the year, the midsummer when we have more things. And if you wreck it, you're gonna sit out. Like that's just the way we were raised.
And that's happened.
Yeah.
yeah, that is.
You guys have had to
happening.
alternate cars
We've
and
had
different
to
things.
alternate with the
With-
motors,
with
and
the
just
engine
like
program.
if we went out there and destroyed a car, if we have one left sitting in the shop, that's what we get. We're not gonna go out and buy car upon car during the summer, and we've had some bad luck in the late models, but it's just racing deals. But
Well, I
when we
think
go
the-
out there and drive stupid, he's not gonna go out and buy us cars every week.
The
so.
late models are a little bit more shoulders up, elbows up. You got to get in there and, you got to dance with people.
Yeah.
The sprint cars is kind of like a no touching.
Yeah.
If you guys do touch, somebody's going tumbling.
Yep.
If
The
the
open
sprint
wheels.
car's like set up right, it kind of drives itself around there. You just
Yep.
kind of have to direct it. But the late model, you really have to.
You got to get up
You
on
have
the
to
wheel
manipulate where you want it to go every corner.
because
and-
if you're not on the throttle, them things will get tight.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
oh,
get
yeah.
tight. Yeah.
Same with the late models. We've kind of learned like you got to be on the gas with those things.
Yep.
Otherwise, like it just it's tight. It doesn't turn. Like we've been fortunate enough to like have a great crew guys and great crew chief, and it just like it's tricky when you're trying to learn like go from one car to the other
Yeah.
and the power ratios between all three. And
I give you guys props because there can't be two more different cars than a sprint car and a late model, and you guys are going back and forth.
yeah,
And you're being competitive. You're still learning. I tell people all the time, it's a 5-year process.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
So when you
it's-
get into a new car in a new division, it takes 5 years for you to become fully comfortable
in that car.
in that car and understand, because when you become the best racer, you're out there, you don't even question what your car's going to do. You don't question what you're going to do. You just react.
Yeah,
And that's when you can be at your best.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning process, and it takes laps. People ask us all the time, when are you going to race Outlaws? When are you going to go here? And right now, our main focus is to just get laps and, experience. And when that day comes, when we'll be ready to race Donnie and the Outlaws, it'll come. But for now, we just focus on getting laps and getting our cars dialed in.
And then you look at them kids out there, like Corey Day,
oh yeah,
has went to the truck series.
he's insane.
He's
yeah.
18, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So a year
he's-
older than you guys?
18 or 19.
Yeah, he's
He
18
might-
or 19.
Yeah,
He
it
might
might
be
be
19.
19.
Might be
now.
19?
Yeah,
Still, just last year, he was racing.
Yeah.
I don't know which series was on the or
High
the
limit. I
high
think
limit.
he did a majority of.
yeah, he's pretty impressive. I mean, it's really changed. As Donnie talks about all the time. Like some of these kids, they get to go race for these big teams, and then there's some of us that have to work for and work
And-
for
And
have
Donnie
your
knows
family.
what that's like.
Yeah.
He had to start out at his dad's team,
Yep.
their own team,
Yep.
and progress. And then with his hard work, he got into the Tony Stewart ride,
Yeah.
and then that's been a connection ever since.
Yeah, he's been fortunate enough to race for Tony, and Tony's been really good with them. And some of the you got to work your way up. You gotta figure out what it's like when you're racing for your own family, and you gotta lots of people think we have unlimited amounts of stuff, and we really don't.
Yeah.
Our
My 305 car was built in 2012, and it was Donnie's car he raced for a 360 in Canada.
and it was
In
actually
2012.
it was a really good car. It just
So,
Yep.
I mean, people, like she said, people, they think and assume we have brand new stuff. Amelia has 410 motors from 2007. Donnie won Knoxville Nationals, Kings Royal, and the
the
National
Open and the World of
and
Outlaw
the championship
on it.
with it. So that's her motor.
But we've been fortunate enough. When we first started, we always bought TSR's stuff from the past.
Right.
So we always were buying used, and now we're finally when you get into the big series, you gotta find you gotta get the brand new stuff, and now we're kind of cycling through all the stuff we had in the past, and we got 2 new motors coming for 410s, but the TSR team has them now. So. With the Ford to Chevy switch, and
I didn't want to bring that up, but I was kind of sitting around, and when I seen that, I was excited. I'm a Chevy guy through and through, and when Tony Stewart went Ford, I was almost heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then when he made Donnie go Ford, when Donnie went Ford or tried the Ford
Yeah.
Performance, I was even more heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, this is a Chevy world. I like Chevys. And then I seen that announcement, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
they're back to Chevy.
Yeah, so they kind of did it, obviously not halfway through the season, but
Early on
in the season. So they didn't plan to have motors made. So
they took
They took yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this winter Donnie called Shaver and had 2 motors made for us, and they were done. I think
a couple weeks
a
ago.
couple
already.
weeks ago. So they went straight to TSR. So he has them for backup, but we'll hope to get them back.
Eventually we'll
yeah,
get
we'll
'em
get them
back.
back by May or so
Mm-hmm.
when they get caught up with their motors.
Right.
When you're racing on a national tour, you got to have 4, 6, 410 motors ready to go at all times
Because they go 3 nights in a row, and
Yep.
there's no time to run back to the shop.
No.
Nope. So if you hurt one, that's you can't get it back to where it belongs until you get back to the shop. So
Yep.
eventually we'll get ours back, but
Right now we have 2 anyway.
Yeah,
So
we're
So you
willing
can
to
get
give
started
up.
for the
we
year.
can
Yeah.
race 10 nights and be good till we get them. So
Yeah, we're
we'll be
willing
good.
to give it up for him and.
Well, he's kind of helps you guys a lot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if
Yeah.
he needs something, he'll come take it.
it's just
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like our grandma owns those motors, and they're sitting in the cabinet
Yeah.
of the TSR trailer. So we
That
think
is
that's
neat.
pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Where do they race next? I'll fly down there, and I'm going to walk in the trailer and go, hey, Laela and Amelia need their motors back. I'm going to haul them back to Fargo for them.
I went along last week to Lawton and Wichita, but they obviously it got canceled because of wind.
Yep.
And I opened the cabinet. He's got a new crew chief in 2025, Todd Devanich, but he's been on the team all these past years. He's just been the car chief. So we've gotten along with him pretty good. And I opened the cabinet last week while we were sitting in the delay, and I'm like, hey, Todd, those are mine. And I was messing with him, and he's like, no, they're mine now. I'm like, no, you got to give them back. But it's just fun, like it's, you got to do what you got to do, and we'll eventually get them back. But we got stuff to race till
we got stuff to race
till we get them back.
Joshua Johnson says, I think he races late models. Josh Johnson down there in Fargo. He races kind of everything. Non-wings. He races everything.
Him and Tom Cummings.
Yep. He says, I'm supposed to tell the girls, are you going to the boat show at the Fargo Dome? Or are you supposed to say that? Because that will bring out your guys' accent. So you're supposed to say, are you going to the boat show? I want to hear the accent. That's what he says.
Are you going to the boat show?
At the Fargo Dome. I think
because
it's the O.
Oh.
It's the O.
Oh, my God.
It's all the O's. It brings out your accent.
Yeah, that's what people tell us is the O's.
All the time.
I guess.
John Roberts says hello.
Oh, hi, John. He's another podcast guy.
We've been with him.
You've been
on
up,
a few.
up on his in Grand Forks.
Yeah,
Grand Forks best source.
Yep.
He's
Dirty Thursday.
Dirty Thursday.
So
we love it.
Chad Hoff, who used to be on there, he was our announcer here at the Nodak Speedway when I was president, when I ran the track. So I've known Chad forever. And
He's
then
still not. Well, no, he doesn't.
He moved to Dickinson.
Yep, that's how.
Moved to Dickinson, and then so Chad, when he moved over there, I was able to come down and help him out a couple times. He got me on the microphone and had a little bit of fun, and then he came over to Devil's Lake and he worked for Darn TV doing some doing some announcing in Devil's Lake for me.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's fun. We like
the racing world is small.
Yeah,
for sure.
They do a good job up there.
Now who does John have on there now with him? Isn't it Stephen Lewis?
Oh yeah, Stephen Lewis I think is up there with him most days.
Yep. I check in and watch it on Facebook. I'm usually at work because they do it in the morning, I think. So I'm at work, but
by the time you look, it's always done, or that how most things do. By the time you remember it,
we did it with Johnny Gibson, us two, and who else was it in August last year?
Wade Unger.
Wade Unger. Yep, Wade Unger.
Wade's cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff with us when he was here in August about our grandfather, and that was pretty cool. He kind of brought out what our grandpa was like behind the scenes, and told a bunch of stories. Who he actually was, and I wish you could have got up to this area because just in the past day, everyone has asked, either about our grandpa or our grandma. It's not about Donnie. It's about where's your grandma? When's she coming? I'm like, yeah, she'll be here. Like, don't worry.
Well, it's because Donnie, we're all proud in Minot of Donnie being raised and doing what he did here. But before that, so I'd be more closer to Donnie's age, so I might ask more about Donnie. But my dad, or they'll ask about your grandpa.
Yeah.
Because that's where they grew up. It's kind of that same generation. So, plus your grandpa owned a bunch of land and property and businesses here in town. So, I mean, he's a big fixture in the Minot community.
Yeah.
That's why people are asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do a lot with land and developments, and he did the same thing in Fargo, and now he kind of handed it down to Donnie, and they still work on it a lot with the properties, and our family has always been a lot. They're hard workers, and they love business, so working in the business, the whole family works for, there's not one of them that doesn't work outside the family business. And it's just been pretty cool because, obviously our Aunt Krista is here at the Schatz Crossroads with her husband, Nick, and my mother and our grandma and Donnie are all in Fargo at the Petro. And obviously Donnie has Fastlane car washes, so he loves doing that. So it's been pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's always fun to come up here and hear the stories. Even yesterday, there was a guy that came up and he's like, your grandpa raced for my dad, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like the things you learn every day. It's just awesome to come up here and.
You're not missing any fans right now, are you?
Oh no,
okay.
I was just looking over there.
Oh, okay.
No, we're good. It's so cool. I wish we could spend more time in Minot. It's the racing community here is like insane.
It's huge. It is. It's crazy. I say this a lot. there's no racetrack in the country that gets this facility.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait
it's
till
awesome.
you race on the racetrack and you come, because you guys are going to be here May 4th, I
Yep,
think,
May 4th with
for the
410s.
NOSA
Yep.
Yeah.
410 sprint cars. So when you guys come around the corner and you see the grandstand and it's full and it's big, you're
Yeah.
going to go, wow.
Yeah.
You know, this is a top-notch facility that we have over here, and we're lucky to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
and then we put 1,000 to 1,200 people in there on a Sunday night for just regular racing, for
Yes.
modified, sport mods, stock cars, our regular race classes. A lot of places wouldn't. They'd take.
Oh, yeah.
They'd take half that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would take half that on a regular race night.
I'd
Yes,
say
I-
Grand Forks is probably
The same way.
the same. You know, they get a lot of fans on
Grand Forks gets a lot of
Friday
fans
night.
because they got late models. And
yeah.
Every week, though. Yes.
Every
That's
week
the
in
difference.
sprint
So
cars.
they do have.
yeah,
But it is crazy, you know, like even when we drove in here Friday night, I haven't been here in a while, the fairground side.
Yep.
And to look at that grandstand and be like, wow, like they fill this thing. Like it's going to be electric when the World of Outlaw late models come here. It's good.
there'll be 4,000-5,000 people up there.
It
Yeah.
is
and that is crazy.
it's really cool for racers to like, you know, know the fans want to be there and support these big events. And I know I raced at the Dome in December, and it was just an unreal experience to race in
Yep.
front of 35,000 people and look up and like it's full.
I
like,
gotta go there.
Oh
I have
yeah,
not
you
been
gotta
there.
go.
We
So
sit and watch it on TV every year. I just haven't went.
Yeah.
I gotta go there.
it's something you got to do. And even Layla raced at Tulsa Shootout, and they pack so many people into one building.
That's another one. I haven't done that. I haven't went to that
Chili
either.
Chili
Watch
Bowl.
it. I watch it, but I
Yeah.
haven't went to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody
it-
says you got to go to it once just so you can understand the.
Atmosphere.
Yep.
I honestly think the Tulsa Shootout / Chili Bowl is way cooler than the Dome.
And I
but
disagree.
She disagreed with me on that, but they're both awesome events. You know, it's what people look forward to in the winter, and we're fortunate to be able to put cars in both. So
I will say I like the midget racing
Yeah.
at the Chili Bowl
yeah,
probably over anything at the Dome.
Yeah.
The late models, I feel like the cars are too big for the track, and it's hard for you guys to maneuver out there, and then things get kind of dirty.
yeah,
You know, there's a little bit more rubbins racing, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I mean, we went to the Dome a couple. When you set up a merchandise booth there, you have to be there a few days early because it's like a stadium. Like you
Yep.
got to walk through. And I went in there by myself. We were in there by ourselves Wednesday night, and I just like it was crazy to me. I walked, onto the racetrack, and I just looked up, and I'm like, when you're a racer, it's bigger than what it looks like to a fan.
Probably.
There's more room.
Yep.
But you gotta have patience there. I mean, it's when in those heat races, like if someone crashes in front of you, you're in it. Like
Yep.
there's nowhere to go. But it is cool, like if you have a opportunity as a racer, like it is something you got to do. Even I guess they do tear up a lot of equipment if you're in a wreck but it is really cool. Like it teaches you a lot because the racetrack's so small.
My brother just bought an IMC modified.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a stock car and a sport mod. He just bought a modified, and I probably shouldn't. He'll get mad at me for saying this, but he probably won't watch it. His goal is to get on the invite list.
Oh yeah.
For the modified. He wants to figure out a way, whatever he's got to do to try to get on the invite list.
yeah.
You gotta have
the
this-
modified is a lot harder, but
Get
they're
in.
changing the format for the late models this
You
year.
got to
but-
get in. It's so everyone gets put into a pool now for the late models because they had so much crashing last year. Everyone gets put into a pool, and then they pick who they want out of that pool.
Oh,
So it's an invite without saying it's an invite race.
Right.
But the modified is really hard to get
100%
into.
invite.
Yeah,
100%
and they
invite.
take a lot less cars for the modifieds.
I think there's only 30 a night that go on the modified
Yeah.
shows.
And maybe you got to set yourself goals in
Yeah.
life. So his goal is to somehow get on that invite list. Hopefully he can, and then
Yeah.
we can all go down there together. And
Yeah.
if you guys are down there, I'll have a friend down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, to get on that invite list, it seems like you got to do something cool on social media because the things you see from these modified racers to get on that list is
that's what I told him.
insane.
Yeah.
I go, we're gonna have to ramp up the fun level, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do something. I go, you better learn how to do a backflip,
Yeah.
or learn how to not do a backflip exciting
Yeah.
and not get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you get there and you want to be able to keep getting invited, they promote fighting and they promote doing. I don't know if you saw the guy run across the racetrack and fight the guy. Like, that's what the fans like there, so they promote it.
And I remember that incident. I thought to myself, what are you even running over there for?
Yeah,
it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Like, it was your own fault.
And it made, like, ESPN
Yeah, everybody,
Plus
yeah.
Barstool, yeah. It is pretty cool, but, yeah, you got to do something cool to get into it somehow. For the modified portion of it.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
It is a goal.
It's
You
a
got to
good
have
goal.
goals in life. Yep.
And you raced the late model there?
Yep.
You didn't have yours ready, or only she got invited?
Well, my car was brand new.
Yeah,
So
you don't wanna
we
good,
didn't
good
want-
deal. Good deal.
We didn't want to bring my car. It's a 2024, so I flipped the late model in June.
Oh.
It was my third ever late model race, and we were racing at Grand Forks. I was racing Dustin Strand for the lead, and we went into turn 1, and it had rained. It was the night the Outlaws were there.
Okay.
And it had rained, and the sprint cars went out there, and it got rough. Like, holes upon holes. So I went into turn 1 in the right front, just dug down, and I barrel rolled like 4 times. And I was knocked out. I don't remember it at all, but I've seen the videos. It was on Dirt Vision.
At least you got videos of it.
Yeah.
I rolled way back in 1998, and there's no videos of it.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
after that, we got a new car, and the dome had been a discussion all summer. So we're like, no, we're not gonna. We aren't gonna bring our
that's
car.
probably
We're
a
gonna
good
bring
plan.
one car there, and hers is a 2018. So it's kind of like, well, if she crashes it, it's a lot better to,
Yep.
think about a 2018 car compared to a 2024 car getting wrecked.
We do that. My son races. He's raced since he was 14, and I've put him in older cars. He's still in an older car. It's a 2011 car is what he's in now. And my nephew's the same way. He's in an older car. We actually repaired these cars so they could get in and start racing them. They're in hobby stocks, but I mean, they were front clips that were bent, and we replaced the front clip, and then we put the cars together for them. So that way, if you go wreck this thing, we are out nothing.
Yep.
It's like a bonus car.
That's the car that I flipped in. It had been front clipped twice, I think.
Yep.
But
that car I took to the dome is actually the one sitting behind us, and B-Shep drove it twice at the dome, so it's been beaten on.
It's been beaten on.
But right now, like in any industry, everyone wants what's the best. And it's a fight right now if you want a Longhorn or if you want a Rocket. But the older Rockets are what everyone wants right now. So that is actually like a 2018 Rocket. And everyone they want it, but they want the 1.2 version
I
or whatever
laughed
it
at
is.
that when I first heard. I think it was B-Shep, the first one that said, "Yeah, I got my new Rocket XR 1.2."
Yeah.
And we all looked at one another, going, "I've never heard of a chassis going to a 0.2. It's always like XR2, not 1.2." But
that's so. I guess it hasn't been. Cross your fingers. It hasn't been wrecked yet, but it's been beaten on.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is. B-Shep ain't the one to ride the putts are on the bottom. He knocked the wall down with that thing multiple times, and I'm more of the style to beat the wall down in that thing. And in the sprint car, I'm the opposite. But in the late model, I'll go up there. And but yeah, it's been pretty good. The car's been phenomenal. This last year, it was fast, and even in Arizona, we raced in Arizona for 2 weeks. And we found some new things at work, and even Layla's stuff has been really good. So
that Central Arizona Raceway, had you been there before this year?
Nope.
No.
No, we haven't.
Nope.
It's crazy to know how much that place has changed in a year.
Well, we are good friends with TPO, and he had been there before, and he's like, what the heck? Like, they struggled the first few nights, and he's just like, it's completely changed from the last time I've been here. So.
Yep. My brother was down there. I never got to race there. I raced in Kokopah at Winter Nationals, but my brother went over there and won a stock car feature. And we went back and watched the Winter Nationals and stuff this year, and your guys' stuff. We're like, that place is completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Put a wall around it. It's reshaped.
Yep. And then they changed it for the high limit. Like, the high limit deal a few weeks ago, they had a wall. They didn't have a wall off turn 4. But they had to add one for the sprint cars with a catch fence.
Yeah, on the front stretch.
So now it had, for the sprint car, it pretty much had a wall all the way around.
All the way?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he kept it that way or what.
I never got a chance to watch the high limits. I'll have to go back and watch it down there.
TPO said there used to never be a wall.
There was no wall.
Yeah.
And the banking on the backside. So Grand Forks has steep banking on the backside of their corners. Well, that Central Arizona was like a cliff.
Oh, my.
And whenever anybody went over the top, they threw a yellow instantly. There was no waiting or nothing because they wanted to get people over there because they had so many guys roll.
Yeah, roll off the side.
Yeah, roll off the back of the racetrack. So
Well,
the wall
helps
keep them in the racetrack.
We always say we wish Fargo had a wall, Red River Valley Speedway still, because it's just like a wall makes such a big difference, even just with the track conditions. It doesn't just blow off, you know. It kind of builds something. But
I believe that helps too. Like,
but yeah, they race all kinds of cars at Fargo, so we can't really say that
it's the same.
Just catering to sprint cars and
or
late models.
Right, it's the same. They race the same cars we do over here on a weekly show. Fargo is one place I've never been. I want to try to make it down there, whether me or my kid. I've been to the racetrack, but I've never raced on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's changed. It used to be a half mile.
Yep. And I remember the half-mile days. I was a little kid. My dad taking me down for the World of Outlaws to the half-mile days.
Yeah.
And then when they reshaped it, I think your grandpa was a part of reshaping it to a 3/8. Yep.
I mean, I think it provides pretty good racing, you know, if it has the right track prep. But I do think it would be better with a wall. Like, because nothing can blow off. It just builds to the wall. So it provides.
Then you go up in water a little bit, and all of a sudden you have a cushion.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, Grand Forks is a prime example. You know, they've changed it a few times in the last few years, and it seems like the more they add the banking up, the better the racing gets because, it just doesn't blow off the side.
See, and what we do a lot over here is we'll go in and we'll prep the bottom of it and prep the top. And then we'll leave the top loose and water it and keep it watered all night. So that way the middle kind of blows off, but you have grip at the bottom and grip at the top. That's kind of what we've gone to over the years.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun to see them guys rip the lip.
Yep.
And then you got the bottom feeders down around the bottom. So
we're excited to bring the sprint cars there for sure.
Yeah,
it's pretty early in the year. Hopefully the frost is out. Hopefully we get you guys.
Hopefully we get a chance to get down there. So
I was hoping we could maybe walk over there today, and I've never seen the shape of it.
Yeah, we can. Whenever you want, we can walk over there.
We were here. Donnie's raced here in the late I was telling you this.
Yep.
There's a push-up competition, I guess there was.
In 2019.
But he's won here a few times in the late model.
Yep.
In the NLRA stuff. So I don't really know. We weren't there, and it's been a long time.
Well, 2019. If you're 17.
2019. Oh, no. Sorry.
2019, you would have been
12.
Pretty young.
Yeah, we were
probably
young.
In your basketball careers at that time still.
6th grade, probably we were. 6th grade.
We were still getting into going to the
we
liked racing. It's just we weren't going as much as we were because now we go to learn and now stuff. We go to learn and help our grandma in the merchandise, which she's a big part of our racing, and everyone says Donnie's the boss, but pretty sure it's my grandma.
It's grandma.
Diane Shots Racing.
Well, it still works.
Yeah, anything. Deanne, Donnie, Diane, Danny.
What happened to you guys?
We don't pay the bills.
Yeah, we don't. We're just the drivers.
Well,
But
before the end of the day, we'll walk over there.
All right.
Yeah, we need to go over there because we got a race there on May 4th. So
And then the late model.
We have a double header the weekend before. Hopefully we get that in.
Yeah.
Because any night laps on the track will help the prepping aspect of it.
Don't you guys start practice next week or something?
There's a practice on the schedule Sunday, a week from today.
And it hasn't been canceled yet?
Has not been canceled yet. But a practice is different. You got to just make sure the racetrack is there on a practice. But any laps help in the springtime. It's North Dakota. Things freeze.
Yes.
But getting a full weekend of racing, like a doubleheader, or even getting one of them nights would go immense. Would help immensely. And then when you guys show up, it'll be all prepped and pristine.
Yeah, we're excited.
We we haven't raced much in the 410 anywhere, so we're excited to come here where our family is based.
And they did a little reshaping too. What we had over here at Nodak was we have a wall on the front straightaway because of the big grandstand.
Okay.
And we actually removed that wall for the state fair. And then we put the wall back so we could race again. Well, the way that works, it didn't give us much banking in turn 4. Just because of the way it would come out, we had to match everything up with the wall. So we actually raised the wall. Now this last fall they went in and raised the wall, so now we can have banking. So it kind of sucked you in the wall coming out of 4. Yeah. It had that. There just wasn't enough banking there, so now we raised all that up. Hopefully, you'll be able to ride the top without it being sucked into the wall.
Yeah, that's. We talked to the track prep guy yesterday.
Yep.
He was talking.
Yeah, he told us about that.
Yep.
He was move the wall or something in turn 4 or
Was
something.
it Tom, the old guy?
Yeah, he was an older guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a Nodak Speedway Hall of Famer. He knows what's going on. He's been around forever. He's a good guy.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, I know Donnie was a big help in getting Steve Francis to get the late models up here, and he pushed and pushed for him to get up here. And we tried to convince him to race that Sunday because we do have a third car, but I don't think
We don't have the motors, though.
Yeah.
Right.
We actually only have one
One
super right now, so
We're
hopefully
working on getting another one
hopefully we can figure out a way to fund another one.
for the race. Well,
So that way you both can come up? 'Cause
Well, we both plan to race the World of Outlaw deal, but we have one super, so one of us would have to race the Wissota spec.
Oh,
motor.
gotcha.
which would be okay at Grand Forks, and when it slicks off at any of these racetracks, the Wissota cars can keep up.
Right.
They've proven they can. I think someone ran within the top 5 with them one year, and like Grand Forks slicks off so bad that it slows down enough. You ain't gonna.
Right.
You don't need. Most of the guys turn the timing switch down anyway.
Yeah.
In the supercars. So, but
And
at a big place like this, I'm not sure what it would.
It'll most likely slick off here
Yeah.
too. You'll probably see some
Be
slick
okay.
on it. When the sun goes down over here, even with a slick racetrack, the racetrack comes to life. There's seems to be moisture that comes up in the North Dakota ground when the sun goes down, and it's cool. I see it in Grand Forks too.
Yeah,
When that sun goes down, that racetrack
it
is
changes. Grand
is-
Forks is a prime example of it. Just changes like
Yep.
a switch, sometimes.
It gets so like glass slick.
Yep.
But like all the World of Outlaw sprint car guys, that's most of their favorite racetracks is Grand Forks because it just gets so unique.
Yeah.
raced there once. Been my favorite track ever since. So
it's definitely my favorite track out of all the places I've been.
It's tricky though. It's tight though.
yeah.
I mean, it is small compared to some of these places, so you kind of gotta.
It's fun though once you get the hang of it.
We had a sport mod, and I had to put so much more gear in my sport mod to go over there than I ever have anywhere else. So
Oh yeah, and it's like kind of like it's like the crash thing. Like if someone wrecks, like
you're
right
on top
in
of it. You're on top of it
Yep.
like that. So back to the push-up deal. August
Okay.
4th, 2019. Donnie's over here, NLRA late model. He wins it. He doesn't know when he gets out of victory lane. I'm the victory lane announcer. I do the interview, and then I say, Donnie, don't walk away. I got something else. We have sponsors that put up money for push-ups.
Oh,
and
God.
the amount of push-ups is what the sponsors had to pay, which people were willing to pay it, 'cause especially with Donnie winning.
Yeah.
So the crowd was cheering. They're like, yeah. And then he goes, he makes the comment. He goes, you do know that I work out every week for this stuff, right?
He does.
Are they prepared for this? And I said, well, I think they're prepared. I think everybody's willing. Do you know how many push-ups he did? Have you done the research? Did you call Donnie, text Donnie?
No, we didn't do the research.
I mean,
didn't.
I can text him right now and see what he says.
Do we want to give the number? What game do we want to play? People come down to the car show. If they're in Minot, they come to the car show. If they can bring the number to your booth, if we tell them right now, if they bring the number to your booth,
We'll give him a free T-shirt
or a
free
hat.
T-shirt?
or a
Free
hat, free hat,
free hat.
Donnie Schatz racing hat.
Yeah. We'll
Because
do a
I
free
know
Donnie
I
Schatz
watched the
racing
video
hat.
yesterday to remind myself of how many he did. It was 42.
Holy. We guessed 50.
So that's pretty close.
Which when we asked Zach, our crew chief, he was the crew chief on Donnie's late model back in. He said it was 50. So we were.
Everybody's
it
pretty
was
close.
close.
42.
42, that is a lot. Did
That-
he have to touch his nose to the ground and
Yeah,
stuff?
well-
Like an official push-up.
Like the form probably wasn't the. I think the form started out really well. Then we kind of got lax on it. As he kept going, the crowd kept cheering, and it was
Yeah.
just more about him doing push-ups than it was anything else.
Oh, my. After a race. whew.
He does work out very hard though, and he dogs on us about
Yeah, it
how
was
small
funny.
we are.
Because the other day, so we work out probably 3 days a week in the summer, like strictly for the racing. And he asked us the other day, he goes, so what do you two do at the workout? Play on your phones? Because he's like, you two haven't changed in weight or size since 5th grade. Like, and we're like, well, we work out,
I
like,
promise.
Yeah.
I told him, yeah, he's like, so do you just play on your phone? I'm like, no. They make us put it in a locker.
We're working out.
Yeah, we work out like for an hour and a half straight, like hard at it.
It's different for girls.
Yeah, I know. I told him that.
And we go through a program. We still are. It's been almost a little over a year since my ACL surgery, and I actually have 12-month testing on Tuesday for it. So we both still do our rehab deal.
Yeah.
For
Did you
through
have knee
Sanford.
surgery too?
No, I had
No.
Achilles surgery.
Oh, Achilles.
I tore my Achilles.
So she tore her Achilles. I tore my ACL in basketball. So
yeah.
we still do the training and all that for rehab.
So I tore my ACL, had to have a cadaver put in. But mine was not sports. Mine was stupidity related.
It was
So
that'll probably be my next deal. Stupidity related.
rolled a 4. I was playing in 2011 flood that we had here in Minot. I was playing in the flood water with my, you go down in the water and you come back out with your four-wheeler thinking, oh, this is cool, Well, I cross-rutted the ruts that go through the ditch. They have them wheel tracks for the four-wheelers. I cross-rutted and flipped the four-wheeler over on my leg.
In the water.
In the water.
Oh, my.
Yeah. It was all good.
Well, that's not.
Like I said, mine's
It was all
not
good.
sports-related. Mine's
Yeah.
stupidity-related.
Oh, yeah.
That's something we would do.
But if I would have videoed it, I may have got an invite to the Dome.
Oh, I mean, I'm telling you, you can do some
Where was the video
crazy
camera?
stuff.
Yeah.
And
Mine was videoed. Hers wasn't.
yeah, I just fell to the ground and it just snapped. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just felt it. Hurt a lot.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to go through that.
No.
And then you got to sit out racing.
Yeah, so you did it in 2023?
Yes.
And she sat out like 2 months.
Because I couldn't walk.
Because it was in May.
Because they put you in a boot, right?
Well, you can't walk for 2 months. And the day he cleared me to walk, I went and raced. And I flipped that night, too. It was not good.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I had my surgery April 1st of 2024. And it was 4 weeks, no bending or weight bearing. So I had to do 4 weeks, like strictly no racing.
Yeah.
And then mine was the same deal. He cleared me on like a Wednesday to do like more activity. They don't have any restrictions, obviously, with racing. It's more sports related.
Right.
But yeah, it was like a Wednesday I got cleared. I was still in a brace racing. I couldn't wear it in the car, but when I got out, I had to put it back on, type of deal.
Yeah.
So, my incision was still not healed when I was racing. So.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
And then when I flipped in Grand Forks, I was still in a brace and everything. So that was kind of scary. Like when I woke up the next day, because I hadn't remembered anything, I was like, kind of felt my knee, like,
Did I screw it up
Yeah,
more?
like I was kind of scared. Like, did I have to go through this again? But it was fine. Yeah. It's been fine since. So hopefully this summer in the 3-3 we don't do anything.
Yeah, don't injure yourself.
We're gonna have to postpone the surgery if we do.
Is there anything in your contract with DSR that says you can't do sports outside of racing?
They push us to do stuff like
To do
that.
everything.
Well,
Yeah,
to do activity, yeah.
like run and stuff.
Well, our
No.
uncle doesn't really like the basketball deal after we got hurt. So, they like when we played, like they'd come watch, but like the hurt part of it is not fun. Like you have to sit out like after you have all this stuff invested in the team.
It was, when I got hurt, it was February 20. It was one of our last games of the season. And Grandma and Uncle were there watching. So they were disappointed.
There's no contract yet.
Well, I was joking about the contract. I just said contract because I think of like some of the NASCAR guys. Denny Hamlin was out, playing a pickup basketball game and tore his ACL, and he's supposed to drive NASCAR.
Yeah.
You
Well, he
know.
has a team.
Well,
There's
the
a league at his house.
Right.
The nice thing about the ACL is you can push off the surgery. Like, you don't have to get it. Like, I had to wait a month and go through physical therapy, and I could have waited a year to get it. But the Achilles steel, you have to get it within
right away,
7 days.
Right.
Yes.
See, and that's what they did with mine. I tore mine in June, and then I didn't actually do surgery until the end of summer. It was October.
Yeah, so that's what's nice about that. But
And they had me doing physical therapy beforehand. It actually speeds up your recovery
it does,
afterwards.
yeah. That's why they made me do that. So
Yeah.
And when you're old and fat like I was, it's not as my body wasn't as young as your girls.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't recover nearly as fast.
it's anything surgery related.
it's still we still had probably the worst injuries you can have, sports related. Both
Yeah.
of us. So
and it affected our
yeah,
racing.
it definitely is a hard process going through that. So
But now no sports.
No,
just
sports.
racing.
Just racing.
I don't want to. I'll just watch our little brother play
Yeah.
basketball.
Nick Anderson says basketball is the most dangerous sport. At least racing is safer.
It is. It's true.
For us, it's
100% true.
It's true right now. Yeah.
Well, we're thankful to have all the best safety equipment in the race cars. So
That's what people maybe don't understand. When you strap into one of these cars, even these lower division cars, like the you're in there. Everybody has moved to like some sort of Hans device, some sort of head and neck restraint, whether it be, there's different brands, different models out there. Everybody's moved to something like that. And when you get buckled down in there, most of us have seats now that are either custom made or they're wraparound seats of some sort. We're pretty safe in there. You're not going very far.
There's a lot of things you can do now for injury prevention. You know, like there's some people that, you know, want to skimp out on the safety. You know, it costs a lot of money to get the right stuff, but it's definitely something you don't want to skimp out on. When
the fact you know you're going to get out of the car and walk away, or you have a better chance of walking away in a bad accident, don't skimp out on it.
Yeah, 100%.
The last place you want to skimp out on anything is your health.
Safety.
Yeah, your safety and health.
Yep.
the biggest thing for like that I like support and raise is the seat inserts.
Right.
We will not race without a seat insert because that's what mostly, if you crash, that's what paralyzes you, is if you get, you know, if you crash bad enough, is your spine and your, you know, just keeps, your back keeps going. And Donnie has been so adamant about seat inserts, and we just, like, I let a girl sit in there yesterday, and she's like, what is this thing that's so tight? I'm like, it's formed to my body, so, like, but, I mean, Dave Sharpley, and there's lots of different businesses out there that do it now for the safety of racers, and we just are, you know, so thankful, and, you know, we have great people standing behind us that want to keep you safe and keep all racers safe.
Everybody's safe.
They keep, I mean, every day there's something new that comes out or wants to, you know, get developed to keep people more safe in the race cars.
We're all in it for the sport of racing and to grow the sport of racing.
Yeah.
The last thing that we can have happen for our sport is somebody to have a really bad accident and maybe pass away or lose their life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the safety stuff that they maybe should have. Because if that happens, our racing sport can go away in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because there's already some, you know, an aura out there that says racing is dangerous.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, when your teachers and the people that don't understand racing will talk to you and go, well, that's dangerous. I can't believe your parents let you do that.
Yeah.
And you just want to invite them, come to the shop. Come sit in my seat once and just get an understanding.
Of what it is.
This thing could crumble around me, and I'm going to be safe because I have everything I need right here.
Yes.
Did our part in investing in things that keep you safe.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, how cool is it to look over, like, when you come to a car show and all the – I mean, you have a suit company, you have the parts company, a helmet company. I mean, they're all right here for the racers, and we're we're a week away from race season.
Yeah.
And
we're racing next week.
That's our biggest thing is – our favorite thing is getting new race suits every year and helmets painted. And but it is the big thing about having the right equipment. And we wear K1. I know that this company over here is pretty popular as well.
It's Velocita,
Yes. So, we're really, you know, strict about our safety. And we're thankful that our crew guys are, you know, adamant about, you know, getting your head under the bars and not making sure the seat belts are set where they need to be and not having any, you know, things that go wrong inside where you're no fails in the seat belts and all that kind of stuff.
Changing out the seat belts yearly. That's one thing us racers here, we kind of get lackadaisical on the seat belts themselves. Sometimes we'll have them in there. Well, I mean, they still look good, but they're 2021s or 2022s, you know. I don't want to spend the $150 on a new set of seat belts. No, if you're going to spend $150 on a tire, spend $150 on a seat belt.
Like, you know, you always, obviously, as a racer, you know, you don't expect the worst crashes.
But you got to prepare for them.
The worst of all to happen. And, you know, I had a prime example happen to myself last year. You know, probably the worst of all scenarios happened in a late model. And, you know, you never expect it to happen to you, but you have to be prepared for it regardless of the scenario. So
we've been rolling an hour. Does it feel like an hour?
No.
So you guys seen yesterday when I got people on here, we went long. And you guys looked over, man, he's still going. That's how fast time goes when you're sitting here talking racing.
Do we have people watching?
Yeah, he's still in the 40s. I mean, we're still good.
Any comments?
They've been going. Eric Iverson says you guys have great physical therapist?
Oh,
Yeah.
his wife is our physical therapist.
Oh, his wife, okay.
His son is, he's in our grade.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we've
so
been-
his wife is our physical therapist.
Lori
and
Wilson says, "Good luck, girls, this summer or this season."
Yeah, Jen Iverson's a great physical therapist. That's what
She does our racing stuff
and
too.
they come to the races, so that's
If you-
pretty cool.
We'll say if you have questions, throw them on the chat, right? Throw
Yeah.
'em on the comments and
Ask us
questions.
yeah, we do. We like to do that.
We
Ask
like questions,
If you're
guys.
in the area of Minot, let's say if you're within a couple hours of Minot and
Yes.
you're watching this, make the trip up to the car show
Yes.
at the North
We'll
Dakota
still
State
be
Fair
here for a
Center.
while.
We end today, I think, at 6, right?
6, yeah.
6 o'clock.
Or
So you
5 or
have
6.
you have a better part of the day. If you're 2 hours away, it's only 11:30, so you can
Yeah.
still make it here. Come up, enjoy the car show, visit you girls. Donnie will be here 1 to 3.
Yeah, he'll be here in an hour or so. So
Yeah. So it's
it's good.
there's still a lot of time. Bring the number with you
oh,
for
yeah,
push-ups.
42
Yeah, for a
push-ups.
free
42.
hat if you guess it right.
Do
Or we
you-
can do the.
Are they
closest
in
guess.
on it? Do you think they know what's going on? So if somebody walked up right now with you girls over here, would they have a clue?
Well, Mike, our stepdad, he must be watching on his iPad.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
He probably is.
That's what he's doing. And we're sitting right here. Zach, he's
talking.
He
Well, he's
probably
not
don't-
racing anymore.
Well, yeah,
No, he gave up on the RC track.
most of the DSR fans know Zach, and yesterday's
He's been with us for 8 years, probably.
now. So
I think it was weird because I think about a year ago, I don't know when it was, I got a friend request from a Zach Axlin.
that's
That's
him.
him.
And I was like, who the heck is this guy? And then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's where he,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
you
him.
know.
Yep.
Well, for everyone that knows Zach, he was a RC car racer. He's from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Okay,
Before he worked for us,
right.
and he raced RC cars.
And, well, go-karts.
He was a really big go-kart racer, and yesterday he was bored, so there's an RC car track going on next door.
I'm watching. So that would be him over there.
Mike,
Mike?
No, that's our mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
Oh, I don't know.
who commented?
It's DSR.
DSR. It's mom.
You guys commented.
no,
the
my
heck?
phone's right here.
yeah.
But yeah, Zach, he went and bought an RC car because he was bored. You know,
Yep.
he went and got a NASCAR stock or whatever they are, and
It looked fun.
Yeah,
when I
he's-
seen him show up
he's
with it
rich.
yesterday, I said, that's a cool car. I got to go buy me one of them.
He-
I
he-
never had a chance to.
he peeled all the Chase Elliott stickers off though.
I did it.
Layla did it.
He told me I had to do it. It took me like an hour.
So now it's just blue?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just blue.
Oh.
It's probably sitting over there.
Yeah, he's something else. But yeah, we're having fun here at the car show. So Any more
Shane Edgington.
oh god,
Have you
what's it-
girls ever wrecked each other?
Yeah.
Edgington told me he was gonna ask this yesterday. She wrecked me last year.
No,
race.
I didn't
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not wreck her.
Yeah,
We
Sounds
got-
like I might have to
we got
find the
in-
video and make you make the call.
I don't
Oh, there's
know.
GoPro footage from my car.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
So here's the thing. This was at Fergus, and the same thing happened in Arizona. Okay?
No, it was different in Arizona.
No. You tried to tell me it was the same deal. And then you seen the video and you're like,
Edgington, look what
oh.
you've started.
So we were at Fergus
and people are
for
watching
the
this.
gopher.
That's the best
Oh,
part.
my
Keep
gosh.
going.
We were at Fergus for the gopher, and Amelia, she was behind me or whatever, and we went into turn 1, and I entered on the bottom. And she was like gonna follow me in, and so I tagged her, and she spun out.
No, I was clear inside.
No, you weren't.
Yes, and you just drove down.
Amelia, Uncle even told you.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, like you don't have rear view mirrors in a race car for a reason. You don't watch the race behind you.
Oh my god.
You don't need to see where you've been because you know where you're going.
Hey Zach, did Layla wreck me last year at the Gopher?
No. Yes, you guys tried to say it was the same thing in Arizona, and then you seen the video and you're like, oh,
It was close. See?
it was close. All right, whatever. That's the only time though.
Thanks,
It's
Edgington.
mom watching gray ball.
Yeah, our brother Gray's on the Nike circuit, so he's playing.
Where are they
that.
at right now?
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
He's
Yeah, Des Moines.
he's playing in Des Moines this
They might
weekend.
be on their way home now.
Yeah, I don't know. He played at 11, so it's close.
Yeah.
Any more comments?
Not many. Have a good season. Mark Miller. Dana Brooks.
I can't believe Edgington started that conversation.
Yeah.
You ever met Shane Edgington?
I'm pretty sure I have.
He's a Canadian.
Yep.
He's a Canadian. Me and him had beef, but now we're best friends.
That's how friendships work.
It was so funny because a few years ago, Amelia kind of was known for crashing everyone.
No, I wasn't. I
Kinda.
didn't even race.
In the late model.
Well, okay. First year I started.
It was so funny because this was like 2023, probably.
22.
And when you were racing late model at Fergus, the first year you did the 100, and I rode the Burro Max up to the fence, and it was Edgington.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks at me. I didn't know who he was. He must have known who I was. He looks at me. He goes, "So what's she gonna hit this race?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
This was the first year I started.
Yeah.
I literally raced like 3 times in 2022 in the late model, and I didn't have many friends, but I'm way better now.
Yeah.
But me and Edgington had beef. I was so mad at him one night.
A few years ago, like, Amelia just kind of had some bad luck in the late model, and we were tearing stuff up left and right, and Donnie told us, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to get you to 2 Hornets, and you have to go race at Glendon every Sunday, and you have to drive it home when you're done racing, because otherwise you're not going to learn how to quit crashing and wrecking stuff. It has to leave the racetrack and go to the shop, the Hornet."
Did that never happened, though?
No.
He just threatened it.
We've gotten way better. The only thing, we haven't torn up much ever since. I mean, the only thing I've torn up is beating the drive shaft out of it because I run the wall all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, me and Edgington, we're like best friends now, so we're getting better.
Yeah, that was so funny.
We even
Edgington.
went to the Wissota 100 we're friends now, so we're good.
You're good.
We're good.
Some
We
of
go to the concerts at the Wissota 100
together,
with
yeah.
Edgington.
Some of the best friendships come from on-track controversy.
Mm-hmm.
I even wear his shirt all the time, so.
Edgington.
So if you guys have done the Wissota 100,
I have once. She's
well, I
done
bet
it
even
3
even
times.
go there. Have you ever thought about like cruising down the road and just taking in an IMCA Super Nationals? Because that's like a Wissota 100 on steroids.
I
Kinda
know.
the same.
It's like isn't it a week long?
Yeah.
And it's
But there's like 5 times as many cars.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen like the TikToks and the Facebooks and like the drone shots of the pits.
Yeah,
It's absolutely insane.
I've had the opportunity to race there. I've had the opportunity to broadcast there, and I've had the opportunity to announce there. So I've done all 3, and it is an absolute like
I know.
party.
It's kind of like the Tulsa shootout, you know.
Oh, yes.
Like 400 cars a class, and everyone just is there to have a good time.
just convert your cars over on. I think it's Monday or Tuesday. They do the IMCA late models. So just
Well, there's IMCA late models there?
just one night.
Just one night.
Just
okay.
one night. So you just convert your cars over, race the one night, and then just hang out the rest of the week,
Yes.
and you'll
what
have
week
a blast.
Is that?
It's the week after.
Knoxville?
It'd be Labor Day week.
Oh, so
it always starts Labor Day
the
Monday.
Week and before the 100 or something.
Yep, it ends the weekend before the 100.
Yeah, I've always seen how everyone talks about IMCA Nationals, so
Yep.
we gotta make a trip there once or
Even if you just come down for a
modifieds
couple
maybe or
days,
something.
if you just come down for a couple days, but you got to hang out in the pits and you got to walk around because I've literally seen them set up garbage barrels
Yeah.
and they bowl with golf carts.
With golf carts.
Yeah, so they got to drive through the garbage barrels and knock as many of the garbage barrels over with their golf carts.
Oh, that's sick.
Wow.
And
We gotta
they're
try
not
that.
sober when they do it.
Oh, God.
And then when it rains, it turns into mud pits.
Yeah.
And they try to take 4-wheelers and stuff through these big mud pits there. It's insane.
Oh,
Well, the
my.
Wissota 100's gotten pretty big too, like that.
Yeah.
There's some people doing some wild
It's
stuff.
been years. I haven't been to a Wissota 100 since it was in Rapid City.
Okay,
So, I
you
mean,
haven't
it's been
in
a lot of years.
Yeah. It's gotten pretty big. I mean, they got concerts now every night, and there's people doing that type of stuff at night.
Yeah, we stay in the motorhome, and we hear people going till 4.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Yeah. It's probably the most we stay in our motorhome behind Knoxville Nationals.
I don't have very many. Rob Giordano.
Well, he's telling my mom she's a multitasker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to be a multitasker. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's-
we probably stayed in the motorhome for 7 nights last year at the Wissota 100.
Oh, yeah, we stayed there the whole week.
We did our school during the day.
Yeah, because
In the
we do
motorhome.
homeschool.
So you had to
we're online
behave at
school
night.
Cody Skitland, he had to be our teacher that week.
Do you know who Cody Skitland is?
Yeah.
It's
been years since I met it, or since I've talked to
he
him.
had to do, like, make sure we're working since our mom couldn't be there. So.
Yeah, Cody, he works on our cars too. But now his kid's getting in a Gen X late model this year, so we kind of have to let him do that, I guess.
Yeah, he won't be at the 100.
Yeah, he's got to go to Canada
5,000
for
to win.
some 5,000 to win Gen X race.
Edgington, you should go to that.
I got one. What's your go-to race food? What's your favorite track to go to for the food?
Fergus Falls actually has the
Fergus has
best
good
concession stand.
I just kind of eat sunflower seeds all night.
Yeah, Layla wants a big sunflower seed sponsorship.
Yeah.
She
So
loves pickle seeds.
The dill pickle seeds?
Yes.
Yeah, no, not,
Yeah.
Bigs.
The Bigs dill pickle
Bigs, the
ones.
green bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what I eat. We don't really eat when we race.
No, we honestly don't really eat much.
Do you
Like-
eat after the races?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
eat
we-
after. We like to go to Buffalo Wild Wings after.
'Cause they're the
if we're
only
in
thing
town.
open.
If we're in town.
But yeah, Fergus, they actually had an ice cream truck too. That was
So I make, if you guys ever get to the point where you need a chef and a truck driver, I do have my CDL, so I
You
can
do?
drive your guys' truck for you. And then I'm also a really good cook. I
You're a
like
good
to
cook?
smoke.
You like to
know,
smoke?
Oh, I make these steak sandwiches
Ooh.
that you guys would love, and your whole pit crew would love them.
yeah.
And
they
then,
get hungry.
You know, bratwursts and burgers and stuff. I'm good at making all that, all the track food.
Yeah.
I wish we had more just like grilled food
Mike
at the races.
sometimes will make us stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
we got a grill on our motorhome
Motorhome.
that pulls out on the side, and he'll do it sometimes.
I think he's the one that asked the question.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Mike, what
Mike,
did
you
he
should
ask?
cook us food
He's
more
not
at
listening
the races.
He's. Yeah, he is.
He's playing with the hanger.
That's my favorite job as I've gotten older. I don't do much racing anymore when I don't have to be a broadcaster or anything. So like the Stock Car Stampede in Jamestown, you guys have heard of that in October?
We've
Been to it?
I haven't raced it.
You haven't raced
She
it?
I've
has.
raced it twice. We have raced it, and our feature goes out at 2 a.m. But yeah, I've raced it.
Right. So last year I was there, and I had our pit set up at my brother's. We had like 6 of us all in a line, but we left a big gap where we parked a couple extra cars. And I had a projector with the races on the side of the trailer, like our whole big stacker trailer had the races on the side. And I just cooked steak sandwiches and bratwursts.
Where were you? I didn't.
Were you there last year?
Oh yeah, I was there.
Well, I didn't know who you were last
Oh
year.
yeah. Well, I guess.
I knew of you, but I didn't know you. So now this year when we're there, if you are there, I'll invite you down.
You got to come to the Wissota 100.
Layla was on suspension last year for the
Jamestown.
Jamestown Stampede.
Like what kind of suspension?
My
like,
mom got mad at her, so she suspended her for
that
a
weekend.
weekend.
So it's parental suspension,
Yeah.
not with soda suspension.
No.
She got she just got yelled
Yeah,
at and
Mom
then argued with
Mom
her more.
suspended me for the weekend.
So then I was by myself, and Edgington again. He and Brad sang and all them. They just left me there by myself. They all went to the whatever. They have a concert there
Yep.
too.
Yep.
They left me in the motorhome alone. So I
guess now
Layla wasn't there.
when I'm cooking there at 2 in the morning, and everybody came back from the concert, and I was still sitting there. There was a handful of us just chilling because I'm not a concert person,
Yeah.
but we were just all chilling and having a couple drinks.
Mhm.
And when they showed up hungry, I started throwing food back on the grill again.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop by next year.
Yeah, we'll
'cause
have to stop by.
Yep.
I wish my parents cooked more food at the races.
Well, I didn't have a job to do. I wasn't a pit crew. I
Okay,
wasn't
so
anything. So that was my
that was your job.
that was my job.
Mom will sometimes make us like food. If we're going to like the Wissota 100 or Knoxville, she'll make food so we can warm it up in the motorhome.
So if
But
you girls
that's a-
ever get big enough to where you need a
Chef.
traveling podcaster,
Okay.
so we can do this
Podcaster.
traveling
Sounds good.
podcast, a truck driver, and a cook. I'm your guy.
All right.
I think that would be Zach and Dawson. They both have their CDL, but they'd probably love to sit in the back one time,
Yeah,
like not drive,
probably.
and have food made for them.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, they would love it.
We've tried to make food sometimes, but it don't
the
end
pizzas
too well.
just don't cook in the
Yeah.
microwave.
Somebody wants to know about your numbers. Eric Iverson wants to know about your guys' numbers.
Our race car
Racing
numbers?
numbers?
Yeah, who got? Why did you get number 15 and why did you get number 1?
Well,
It started in the go-kart days when we were like
Fighting over black and white helmets. It kind of started like that.
Yeah, but when we were like 7, probably 8 at Grand Forks.
They don't let you use
Because we used to be 15A,
okay.
15L.
Okay.
And when we'd go to Grand Forks every Wednesday night, they said, no, you can't have letters with your number. So we had to be 15, and one of us had to be something else.
Did you duct tape like over the 5 to make a 1?
No,
we finally just
what
switched.
we did was we were both playing basketball, and we were kind of really into basketball at that age too. We probably did more basketball than racing. And so the deal was Amelia got the number 1, or the number 15 in basketball, and I got the number 15 in racing.
Worst deal ever.
You didn't think so at the time.
Yeah, at the
You
time.
thought it was great.
Now
'cause
we don't even care
she got
about
to
basketball.
Be 15 in the basketball, yeah.
So,
yeah, but you get to be number 1.
Yeah.
Everybody wants, as long as it's not the middle finger number 1. Everybody wants to be number 1.
Number
Yeah.
1's a good number.
Yeah, I've kind of grown to like it a lot now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really have on my race pass, you know, like when there's 2 of the same number, you can't, it's hard.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If they're different colors, it's easier, but it's still hard.
We kind of wished we went 1 and 5, like
Right.
make
Yeah.
15.
Well, you still can. It's not too late.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Like when Donnie, when he's drinking, he'll be like, she's the better twin because she's 15. I'm like, really?
And then the next day he'll be like, she's the better twin. I'm gonna send her a Snapchat video. Like,
Yeah, I know.
right?
Yeah.
But I like the number 1. Bishop's the number 1, so
Yep.
he's my favorite racer. So, I mean,
Well, he's actually the B5.
B5, but
So look,
in the
look at
Rocket
the
1
best,
car.
best of both worlds. So if you're number 1, so when he drives the Rocket 1 car, you're B Shep. You know,
Well,
when you're the number 5, when he drives his own car, the B5 car, boom, you're B Shep.
Well, when we were younger, he was driving the Rocket 1 car when we
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
Yeah,
made the
when
decision.
we made the decision. But like it's kind of cool. Like A5 would have been cool as well. Like
Right.
he's B5, but can't take that from him, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though we're good friends with him, so he wouldn't like that.
How about your favorite security guard from the Dome? Who had a?
Chris Simpson? Is he
Chris-
on there?
No, Mike asked.
Oh, Chris
The
Simpson.
mic over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone knows, but most people know. Me and Rusty Schlank, which we're buddies now too. We were racing for a spot at the Dome,
Yeah.
and it's tight. And I kind of got into him, and he wasn't impressed with me, so he flipped me off. He parked in front of me at the exit and flipped me off.
Okay.
And
And
Chris
the Dome is a show.
And the Dome is a show. That's why he did it. He even admitted it. Chris Simpson, he didn't like that. And I didn't really know Chris Simpson. And Chris, he was right by my side the rest of the weekend. He got in an argument with Rusty, and he was telling him to go away. And yeah, he's my buddy too now.
Now he's your buddy.
Yeah, he was the best bodyguard. Chris Simpson's a good guy, good racer too. The Dome's his style. But yeah, that was pretty. Chris Simpson's the best bodyguard. If anyone needs a bodyguard,
Chris Simpson. So now we know what his duties may be in the future. You might have Chris Simpson bodyguard, Brandon Beater cook, truck driver, and
Yeah.
podcaster.
Yep.
We got a lot of jobs for everyone now.
Yeah.
Just got to figure out the money to pay us all.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to talk to Grandma
We're
on
gonna
that
have to
one.
get there.
Oh.
Then Dana Brooks asked, she knows you guys are twins, but which one is older?
I am Layla.
Layla.
Layla?
Yep. By 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah. Some people don't know we're twins.
Yeah, we've had that a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
They didn't know we're twins.
But we're the same age, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Well, it was a topic of conversation last night when I was doing my research to figure out Laela, Amelia, trying to figure out 15-1. I wanted to be better prepared so I didn't call you by the wrong name, you know.
Yeah.
And then the topic was brought up. Are you sure they're twins?
Yeah.
and
we're
I'm
twins.
like,
We're
I am
twins.
like 99% sure.
Yeah.
But there is that 1% chance I'm wrong. But
No, we're twins.
You're
Yeah,
twins.
we're twins.
We're twins.
Yep.
Same
17.
age. Yep, 17.
And my
2
race
minutes
pass
apart.
confirmed that. Because
Yeah.
we went on my race pass and we said, well,
That's what the other guys did at Nodak too. They are like, we went on my race pass and you both were 17. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
how cool is my race pass?
It's
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
Do you guys know what life before my race pass?
Race monitor.
Race monitor.
Race monitor.
Yep.
But that didn't have lineups and stuff on it.
No.
That just had lap
Race
times.
Pass, yeah.
I like my race pass
We
much
don't-
better.
We haven't filled out like you were saying. You looked at our age. I
Yeah.
think that's about the only thing we have.
Well, it's because
on
when
there.
you put your driver info in, they ask for your date of birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
our mom-
automatically puts that in there.
It runs that. Yeah. You can do like questions and all those types of cool things on
Yep.
there. We haven't got into that. I just really like how it has lineups and you don't have to go walk somewhere, like
Yeah, you
a
just have to
mile
walk to the board.
Yeah.
By the entrance
See
of the
where it
track
is.
or something.
My favorite part is the history of it, because I get in conversations and somebody will say, "You remember that race I won back in 2018? I beat you coming out of turn 4," and I'll be like, "You did, huh?"
Then go
So I go to
on
my
there.
race pass
yeah,
and I
you
go,
can go back.
"You weren't even there, dude."
Yeah. That
It's
is
nice.
cool. You can go back
and you can
watch
see your
or
results and
Yep.
from the whole year, and it counts all your top 5s and your top 10s and all your shows, and that's what I like about it. So it's a pretty good app.
Yeah. How much longer you girls want to go?
look. Keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah.
We're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh wow,
We are. Oof. It's been fun. It hasn't felt like that.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. What, we got any more questions?
No more questions.
Yeah, if anyone's in Minot, come stop by.
Yeah,
Donnie will be here in an hour or
maybe a little more. He'll
more.
be here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be here soon, and I'm sure we'll get the people in here if he's here. So
Yeah.
It's looking pretty busy right now. People
How-
walking around.
Like the people walking around yesterday, how crazy was that?
Yeah.
I was sitting here and I'd turn around and I'd go, "Wow, look at all the people."
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty.
It helps. There was a rodeo last night. You guys
Yeah.
didn't take in the rodeo?
No, we didn't go to the
No, we-
rodeo. We tried to go to Shields, but it was closed, so it was a cheap night.
We ended up at the arcade though.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
mall. And we won 24,000 tickets.
No, but we would have won more. So Zach, our crew chief,
Yeah.
he loves the Willy Wonka game at the arcade,
That
and
pushes the coin.
Okay.
he has a stack of Willy Wonka cards like this big at home, but he doesn't have any golden tickets. Well, you have to have a golden ticket to have the full set. He won like 10 golden
Me and Zach
tickets
got
last
like
night.
15 golden tickets.
So he's got to bring them home because you guys only had a few sets last night. Yeah, we had like 24,000 tickets combined. But we did spend like $300 to get the golden tickets, but I guess we were bored. We tried to go to Shields, but they closed at 7 for some. At Fargo, they closed at 9.
Yeah.
So
well,
we were
I think
in
a
Hope.
part of the mall maybe because
Yeah.
they closed at 7. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, the whole mall closed at 7, except the arcade. So we did that for a little bit and then watched the Duke game, I guess.
Yeah.
So imagine where that Tilt Studio is. That
Reggie
used to
Tim
be the
is
Shields.
typing.
The what?
That used to be the Shields.
Yeah.
Oh,
So when you were in that arcade-
The arcade.
That used to be Shields. When
Really?
you walked in there and that was the Shield store.
Yeah, it's big in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they built on, right? Or they added on to it?
Yeah,
or
they're in
something?
the old Sears. Sears is where Shields is now.
Yeah,
And then they added on to it to make bigger.
Yeah, we wanted to buy some things, but we got there at like 6:55 and they kicked us out.
Kicked you out.
Yep.
So it's probably for the best because we would have spent money, So
Yeah.
it was cheaper to go to the arcade, honestly.
Yeah.
We tried.
Edgington is texting you.
Yeah,
typing.
he's typing, so I don't always send to chat.
Uh-oh.
Was that a good comment?
Say, give us some more.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say.
Ask him if he was on when we talked about how he used to not.
Yeah,
used to
one
not
time I
be-
went down to him because I was so mad at him.
Because he got into you.
Yeah,
vice
we
type
got
thing?
into each other at Fergus again on a restart. And I just wasn't. But that was like 2 years ago. We're fine now.
Yeah, now we're good.
He probably would do anything if someone tried to. Like,
Right.
hurt
He's a
us
good
or-
bodyguard, too.
Yeah, he's a good bodyguard. Edgington's a good bodyguard.
We give him freeze dried candy.
Yeah, our mom has a freeze dried candy business.
Oh.
Well, at Petro. She's got
At
a
Petro?
machine. Yeah.
That's what she does all day. Freeze dried candy.
Oh.
And fruit, I guess.
Yeah.
There's fruit too. She likes doing that. So
Yeah. So you're the cookies.
I'm the cookies.
We got to do something with pretzels for you.
Something.
Or I don't know what we're going to do. What are you going to do?
something. I need something.
Yeah.
I can't really cook, so anything that doesn't involve cooking, I'll do
So
it.
buy a bag of pretzels, put some ranch seasoning in them, wash them around or slosh it around a little bit, and then tell people it's your special,
That's my special mix.
yeah, your special ingredient
Yeah.
mix.
That'd be probably pretty good.
You're not going to keep up with me, though.
How do you know?
I just know. She's not a good cook.
I guess I'll have to do something else, huh?
Yeah.
Just
Win races.
yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about it.
That's it. We'll just keep winning races.
Yeah.
Put your
That's the
cookie
goal.
business out of business.
Is the goal? Oh, Amelia, that is not what I do all day for Mom.
I was kind of going to say that.
Whoa.
She might get mad.
Well, I know that's not what you do all day, Mom, but that's what you do most of the day. Because cutting the strawberries takes like 4 hours.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know, Mom, you work very hard at the truck stop. The freeze-dried candy you like to do. So.
That's a good hobby, good fun.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes
Kind of like the baking cookies, and you just got to find yours.
Yeah. Maybe I'll take over the freeze-dried candy business.
There you go.
So she doesn't have to do it.
Yep.
Oh, my.
What? So.
Yeah. I don't know what else to go on. What
Yeah.
else do we talk about, I guess? An hour away from Donnie getting here, doing the autographs, but they can come get your autographs at any time.
Yeah, we're here, so.
You come on down and check out the sprint car and the late model.
We got both
We've got
here.
both
Both of
here.
them?
Both of them are race ready, too, so. Cool stuff.
In about a month from now, you guys will be at the Nodak Speedway.
Yep.
We
Weather.
plan to race at Cedar Lake next weekend already, so.
What's that broadcasted on?
No, wait.
I don't
Cedar
know.
Lake?
They have a broadcast, though, because when you, like, win or something, they put these on you and they, like, talk
Interview?
to you. Yeah.
Okay.
But we've never raced at the big track. We used to race in the arena next
Oh,
door.
okay.
When we raced go-karts. So we've actually never hit the big track yet, so this will be our first time.
Yeah,
so
first ever
we'll
time.
have to figure that out when we get there, when
Right.
it's broadcasted
We
on.
really hope we get to race. It doesn't rain out
Yeah,
or anything. Otherwise, we'll go to Knoxville.
You're racing sprint cars next weekend?
Or
No,
Peevely.
late models.
Oh, late models.
Late models, yep.
Late models.
Mhm. We're racing with Soda late models.
Yep.
They have it's their opener or whatever. They're supposed to race this weekend, but
Weather.
weather.
Yeah, weather in the
hopefully-
Midwest is. And then you said something about Knoxville?
Well,
or?
Peevely. If
Peevely.
it rains out, we'll go with our grandma. We like to
Oh,
go
to
racing.
go watch, yeah.
Uncle.
Go watch.
Yeah, Johnny.
Peevely's a pretty cool place. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's
Have
it's
not.
kind of like Grand Forks.
It's normally Peevely one day, Knoxville the other. That's why I thought Knoxville, but it's one weekend, then the next Knoxville.
Yeah, and Peevely's pretty cool. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Grand Forks, honestly, but it's got a wall, so you can get into trouble fast.
I have my dirt vision. I have my flow.
You got it all?
We just watch a dirt track. We have 3 TVs, so sometimes you have 3 broadcasts going at the same time.
Yep.
A lot of people like to do that. Put some TVs
Well,
or in their garage or.
I don't even know why I need cable TV anymore.
Yeah,
because
we
I
don't
don't
even
feel
pay
like
for it.
I don't.
You either watch Netflix or one of those or racing.
Wow, we have Hulu Live because
That's
I'm
what we got,
I'm a
Hulu.
big Friends. I like Friends, the show
Oh.
Friends. So Friends and Big Bang Theory. So we always watch that, in the evenings before we go to bed and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Hulu's pretty good.
We got
Yep.
Hulu.
That's what we use too. I have to buy. Do you get Hulu, the Supercross on your Hulu?
no, you
I
have to have
a
Peacock.
That's what I got.
I just had it on my Peacock. See, and it's so frustrating because you got to have.
Two
And then if
different-
you wanted Landman, you had to get Paramount
Oh
Plus.
yeah, we got it. That's what my mom watches.
yeah.
So if you want certain things, you have to be at Paramount Plus.
Mhm.
It's a great world, the streaming world, that they split it all
gotta
up so you
keep
can pick
buying.
and choose. But now you have to keep buying.
Yeah.
No joke. But if you take advantage of some deals like Hulu, like Verizon, probably your mom gets it, but Verizon gives you like free Hulu, free Disney Plus, and
Yeah.
ESPN Plus. So that gives you
Verizon.
quite a bit,
Yeah, we got it all because it's not all on one. It's
Yeah.
literally like spread out on
Yeah.
7 different platforms.
And I was hoping at one time, we got rid of the Dish Network or cable TV box, and them things are fast, ain't they?
Zach, is he out there?
He is not.
No, I don't know
No.
where he went.
No.
He said the big races today.
Is he actually trying to race
Oh
with them?
yeah, he's gonna race. He
Right
said
with
the
them.
big races today.
With that stock car, stock class car.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Who
Uh
needs
oh,
else?
Eric Iverson. Hey, wait. You didn't talk about boyfriends yet.
Oh my.
That's unnecessary.
I'm not even going to go there. It's not my business, not my place. So if you girls want to bring it up, that's up to you. But Lori Wilson is wondering too,
Why is that such a big comment?
What does it say?
because it's a reply to Eric Iverson. So like that one's a reply to that one. So Eric Iverson did it up here, and then Lori Wilson replied. What does it say? Eric Iverson says, "Hey, wait, you didn't talk about boyfriends yet." And then Lori Wilson goes, "Wondering too."
That's so random.
I have no idea.
I guess that's not a subject for the racing, is it?
FYE TV is at Cedar Lake.
Oh, it is. Nick said that?
Yep. Nick Anderson said that, yep.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
Chris
what-
Steffen.
Chris Steffen.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what does the Gopher and the 100, right?
right.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
They do
Yep.
some big events or.
Yep. FYE TV is actually on the same platform as Darn TV.
Okay.
We're on Rivet.
So it's kind of the same.
Yep. So if you
Just
look at
name
FYE TV's website and Darn TV's, they look identical.
So will you broadcast like the NOSA show?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be here for the NOSHA show, and it'll be on Darn TV, IMCA TV, Nodak Speedway TV. It goes
That'll
on
be
it all.
cool.
Everyone always asks,
Yeah,
what's it
wonders
on? What's it
Yep.
on? I
How
like.
can we watch?
I don't. I
And-
honestly
and
don't
I'm a
know
pay-
till I get there.
I'm a pay-per-view. It's not a. You can't buy a yearly or monthly from me. It's all pay-per-view because 30% of all my sales go back to the racetrack.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
So you just buy per night.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's the way to go.
And then
some
the race,
of events, yeah.
well, because it's that way I can split my money up with all. Because I do 5 different racetracks. So if I did, I'm not nationwide. So
Yeah.
if I just try to do that, it'd be a little tougher with the. And I'm only 4 months a year. I
Yeah.
don't do anything in the winter. So they're really not getting their money's worth if they're paying me all winter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a monthly deal. So
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, that's smart.
right. That way the racetrack feels like, hey, I'm not taking butts out of the stands. They're getting money from me.
Yeah.
And then everybody
You're getting
kind of
it.
wins. The viewer maybe loses, but they're going to spend money if they go to the races anyways.
Anyway, probably more money
Maybe
on
more money. Yep.
concessions or even between the getting in the races and the concessions, you probably would spend more.
Do I get an attaboy on the subject change?
Yeah, attaboy.
You didn't get any comments back, did you?
Oh, yeah, I got some ha-ha-ha-has.
Oh, my.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, we went to school with his son, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And then Jen is our physical therapist.
Yeah, we mentioned that. They're from Kindred, so
Oh, they're the Vikings.
they are Vikings.
It's crazy. I didn't even know what Kindred was or where it was until they started winning basketball games.
Yeah,
Neither.
that-
You know-
they just won another one.
Yeah.
Boys.
The
And
boys
then
did.
Their football team won this year.
Did you
No,
guys,
second. Remember they
Second?
lost.
did you watch the end of the Kindred, the championship game?
Yeah, Brooks Baco.
Wow, man.
Like he tipped it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
That was
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
One of them's coming here. Presley Peraza's coming to Minot.
Minot State.
To duel in track and basketball, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's right.
Yeah, there's some good athletes out of
But-
Kindred.
And they were talking like that Kindred, I think they played Devil's Lake, right?
Yeah, they
Yep.
played Devil's Lake.
They were talking, the announcers on TV were talking like out of the starting 10, like 8 or 9 of them were going to
They-
play sports somewhere
Yeah.
in college.
Very
And most of them
athletic.
can dunk, like
Yeah.
in a game and stuff. So they're pretty talented.
Yeah.
And your mom's alma mater in Class B, Bishop Ryan boys won the state championship.
Yep.
Yep, she tells
We
us
watched
how
a
good
little
she
bit of
used
that
to
game.
be.
It was after.
She tells you how good she used to be.
Yeah, at basketball.
I wish she was
She-
here because
Oh.
this would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She doesn't do much interviews with us.
No.
Or I don't think we've ever sat down with her and did it.
I don't think
It'd
I've
be
actually
interesting.
talked to her since probably high school days, and I probably was too scared to talk to her then. So
She kind of is scary sometimes.
I was just a little freshman. She's a senior. You know,
Yeah.
there's no.
Uh-huh. She played basketball, and that's why she wants all of us to be number 25, is because that was her
Oh.
number. So she convinced Gray into it to be 25 in
Yeah, our
basketball.
brother.
And Bergen, I think,
Yep.
is 20 or 5. I don't know. One
Is
of
there any racing in their future?
Bergen and Gray.
They ended on a high note. They raced at Cedar Lake in a go-kart, I don't know, 4 years ago?
yeah,
Maybe more.
They never have really been interested as much as us two have in it. You know, they grew up going to the racetrack and getting dragged along, and I feel like that's just kind of what has, made their interest die in it a little bit. And they love Gray loves basketball and Bergen loves softball. So
Yeah, Bergen's a really good softball player.
they are really occupied in that, and they like going to the lake in the summer. Me and Amelia don't get to do that ever. Go to the lake because we're always
I don't know
racing.
what I would do if I went to the lake. That's my
Yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we leave that to our Bergen and Gray love the lake, and But now they're in their own sports, so that go year long.
Right.
So it's kind of hard for them
and
to go to like.
how crazy is that high school sports, what used to be maybe a season,
now
it's year round.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I used to play, when I was playing basketball, the last year I played on a team in Minneapolis, and I had to practice every Wednesday and Thursday. So I was missing school.
Oh.
And then it was an AAU team. So the first 3 weekends we went to Texas, we went to like Virginia, and we went somewhere else. And I was like, I'm done. Like I can't, like I'm not going to be able to race because you can pick one or the other these days if you're trying to play a sport and be good at it. And that team that I was playing on, they went to go on to play 3 months straight, and they went to play for Team USA, and I'm like, looking down the road, I'm like, I never would have got to race. So that was kind of something that led to me having to give up basketball is, I never would have, be good at something, you have to keep doing it and, dedicate your time to it, and the racing just takes up so much time. It's like you can pick one. See,
and I was a football player in high school. So when football season started, I parked the race car. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to race anymore. Once middle of August, that's when football practice started, I didn't get to race anymore. Mm-hmm. But I really wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And I don't regret any of it because I got to be a state champion in football my senior year. So, I mean, I don't regret any of it. But it's just one of them choices you have to make.
Yeah.
We didn't have camps. I didn't have to do football year round.
Yeah. Now it's year round.
Right. I basically – when you're young, I didn't really work out a whole bunch. I was just played football,
And even in racing now, it's became that way. Like if you want to make it, you gotta race one. At least in the winter, you gotta race at least once a month. That's why we've tried to keep in the, we did the Dome, we did the Tulsa Shootout, we raced in Arizona for 2 weeks, and you gotta spend time in the shop too and learn how things work.
If you don't know how things work, you can't communicate with your crew to tell them, hey, the car's doing this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
That's the biggest thing is communicating. And that's why Donnie got so good. It's because him and my grandpa worked together. And just the two of them, they had to work with each other.
The car's doing this. I tried to do this to correct for it. It still didn't work. Can we fix it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Donnie will come racing with us, and he'll know exactly what is wrong. And, like, we're still trying to learn what stuff feels like. And he's like, well, it's that. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Like, I don't know what's causing that.
That's why it was so good. The first few times we raced 410, he was there at Grand Forks. Grand Forks, a place he's raced at, his whole life. So
and he knew exactly what.
So he can watch you in the car and go, okay, I know what we need to fix on that, or I know what we need to change to make her feel more comfortable.
Yeah, and for the Tulsa Shootout, for example, he got sick. He was supposed to come. And she wore orange gloves. And you could see on TV her hands are like doing this. He's like, next time can you wear different colored gloves so I can't watch your hands go that, like, because he was annoyed that she was going not, because, I mean, she hasn't raced, neither of us have raced non-wing cars, and it was hard.
We never raced micros.
And he's like, I can't watch you move your hands that fast. So can you wear different colored gloves next time so I can't see that? Because he was, like, annoyed.
Yeah, but that's one of the fun things being a TV broadcast. I love the bright colored gloves because it lets the fans at home, or you can make comments that look at their back, they're sawing on the wheel.
Yeah, when we were in Arizona, the broadcasters, every time I'd put my orange gloves on, they'd stick the camera for the in-car, and I'm like, every time I wear the orange one, so then I quit wearing them because they're like, I don't want to be on there, but.
Even white gloves, though. I like white gloves.
Yeah, we use white gloves.
Because it gives you the feeling, like, I think people, they don't understand how much wheel movement you guys are putting in the car. And they think you're just out there kind of like going down the highway, Sunday drive.
Yeah,
they know you're turning, and, they don't realize that you're actually to go left, you're turning right. The old Cars movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys watched Cars growing up.
Yeah, we've watched Cars. That's one of my favorite movies.
I think that
Doc Hudson made sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and we are big on GoPros, in-car GoPros, like, for our own sake. Like, we have 3 or 4 of them, and they, Dawson and Zach, they love to put them in the car because they can watch our hands.
Yep.
And they
And
put them where you
can
can see
hear
our
it.
feet.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
hear throttle input and stuff. But I think a camera like Sheldon's done it before and posted on his social media. Like a camera where you're watching your foot to me or your feet is more interesting to me because people don't understand. You don't just sit there and hold it wide open and.
I've always wanted to
turn.
do that too. I wanted to put it on my feet. Them tracks that are super slicked off that you have to.
Yeah.
You're modulating
Watch
the
your feet.
throttle.
Yeah.
It's like there's an egg underneath there. If you push
Uh-huh.
it too hard, you're going to
Yep,
break that
crack
egg.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's up. We're big on watching feedback and
we love it when there's people companies that Darn TV that can broadcast and we're able to go back and watch
it.
because otherwise we can't really watch our mistakes.
You're only going to get 2 camera views out of me. Got the top cam and a wall cam. That's all you get out of me.
That's all you
it's
get.
still helpful though.
Yeah, it's still helpful.
My
we
wife
get to
my wife
watch.
runs the main camera. Obviously, I don't need anybody for the wall cam.
What happens if it gets knocked down?
Then I have to
Does
run.
anyone hit it?
Oh yeah, I have to run down at intermission
or
and
mud
fix
or
it.
something. Yeah.
I have to run down. Either I text the flag man and he goes down and cleans it or puts it back up, or I run down at intermission and I fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's helpful. Any TV broadcast is helpful nowadays because you can go back and watch your mistakes and learn from it. And otherwise, you rely on someone else trying to find a Facebook feed or videos. So, yeah, we're thankful for you guys. And
Better get Graham on set when she arrives.
who said that?
Mom,
Yeah, she should be here soon.
I'll let
Mom.
I'll let you read this one, and I'm gonna let you.
Ask Amelia.
That's
Oh.
my best friend, Hayden Hansen. She won the Tulsa shootout.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she won it in the restricted class, and she's really talented. We grew up with her, so she's really gosh, I didn't know she's on here.
You got bright red. Are you embarrassed or what?
Hayden, really?
Just a little mad or something.
It's okay. I don't know if we're gonna be on live when Graham gets here. I mean,
They probably.
Yeah, that's still 45 minutes if they get here at 1.
although we
can check where they are.
I'll check
burning
where
up-
they are right now.
we're closing in on 2 hours. So I mean,
Oh, we probably.
if we went 3, I don't think anybody would complain.
Let me check where they are. They might be getting close here. They're here. They land. Nope, they're not here.
No.
They land in. Wait, no. I don't know. They got the something else. I can't see where they are. This is the other. They must have took. Well, so if everyone knows Donnie's into flying, right?
Loves flying, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So we have an airplane that we have 2 aircrafts, and one is my grandpa's, and every time they come here they fly it because it's a great
Nostalgia thing.
It's called MU2.
It's one of the hardest airplanes to
fly.
fly.
Yep. So Donnie's a really talented pilot, and they kept it because it was my grandpa's favorite thing, and it's just something that they love. He loves to fly, and they flew that one, so I can't see where it is because it's.
Oh.
But
It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they landed because she texted me at 11:15.
Well,
They took off.
if we have to, we'll fire it up when she gets
Yeah.
here, and
I'll text her. But yeah, she would love to come on. I mean, a lot of people love our grandma, and
Yep.
they like to see her point. She is literally the well, my grandpa was the core of our family. Now she's kind of taken over the role, so it's pretty cool to see that she's a strong leader. She rules it all. So
Yeah.
between the airplane and the business, the race
Racing.
team,
Yeah.
she's
everything.
she's in charge. So a lot of people like to hear from her, and Laela told her yesterday to bring her Sharpie because she's more famous than Donnie. Even.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I texted her this morning. I'm like, Graham, did you bring your Sharpie? And she goes, yep.
Perfect.
So we might be able to get her on the podcast for a little bit when she gets here. She'd love to talk.
Graham
so.
even used to fly.
Yeah, she used to be a pilot as well,
Oh,
Yeah.
and so was our grandpa.
yep.
And
So,
Donnie.
but when he got pancreatic cancer, they took his license.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We're trying to get our pilot's license too, so we want to follow in the footsteps and be able to fly.
you guys
airplanes.
close.
Well, we were so they make programs. It's called the ATP program where you can go from 0 to your commercial pilot's license in 12 months.
Wow.
And that's kind of what we're going to lean towards. And you got to go out of state for it, though.
Yeah.
We were kind of thinking, our grandma has a house in Arizona, but it's way more expensive to go to Arizona. And everyone goes to Arizona to
'Cause
do
it's
it.
Arizona.
So,
Because it's nice there.
Yeah, you can fly
so
year-round.
we were
Yep.
kind of thinking maybe Omaha or Indy or somewhere and just go there over the winter time and, start it, take summer off.
And
go
we
back.
can use, like, if once you get your pilot's license, your solo, you can fly in any aircraft to get hours.
Oh, okay.
So during the race season, it's good for us because we can fly along with our grandma and Donnie to his races, and it counts as hours.
Oh, perfect.
So we have a good opportunity to get it. We just need to take the time and sit down and focus on it.
Yep.
Yeah, be able to work racing into that. Because, it's just like college, going and getting your education and taking the time to do it. But obviously for us, on-campus college probably isn't going to work.
Online.
Yeah, we'd have to do online. But, we're leaning towards the flight program anyway. So, that doesn't involve college if we
Right.
go the way we want to go. So,
And it's cool because Donnie could take his instructor's license and instruct us at the same time and pass us for all of our, because it goes by different instrument ratings, twin
Yep.
engine ratings. He could pass us for those. So then you wouldn't have to go
That's
to a
perfect.
jet center or a different a location where you have to go take a test.
Right.
He can just he can give you the test, an oral test, and say you're good to go.
That's
you know?
perfect.
yeah.
So we're trying to convince him into that. Once I think it'd be cool for him. When he's done racing eventually in the future, to do that kind of stuff. Like he's got his pilot's license. He is up to a commercial rating.
Oh,
He
I
can-
was going to say, I don't see Donnie not being involved.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be involved for. He will. When the day he retires or whenever that happens he'll be with us. So
Right.
he'll come probably be at every single race of ours or most of them.
Teach you, and if you get pilot's license out of it, that's even cooler.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand the back. Like
You don't need
see
a truck.
The backside.
You don't need a truck driver though if you have a pilot's license. Well, you need
Yeah,
to get
you
the car
do
to the
gotta get
track.
cars
Gotta get
there.
there. Yeah.
But it is cool because obviously the only reason he has a pilot's license is because he runs businesses at home and
Yep.
he can't be away for a long period of time otherwise.
How often does he come to Minot?
Not much.
I was going to say, I don't.
Unless my grandma
I'm not
comes here,
He doesn't come.
he'll fly her. But
Oh,
not
okay.
not
They don't-
very often.
I mean, it used to be a lot more when my grandpa was alive because
They had business dealings and stuff they
yeah,
had to do back
and
here.
he does have the car wash here,
Yep.
which they do come up. But when he gets racing, he doesn't have any time off usually. But they do come up. Like today, I'm sure he'll go to the car wash, and I'm sure they'll eat lunch at the
truck stop.
crossroads, and yeah, he comes up. He'll come up whenever my grandma comes with him, and he tries to come up, make it a point,
Yep.
But obviously, it was easier when my grandpa was here too, and they had a house here, and now my grandma doesn't have a house here in Minot, so it's a little bit harder.
Yep.
You got to
Yep.
go home the same day, but it is what it is.
Well, I'm glad you guys are up here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Get to know you. Get to meet you.
Yeah.
If Graham gets here, if sometime throughout the day you want to fire it back up, all you got to do is come over and tell me, and we'll fire this back up.
Yeah,
well,
we'll
we
talk to
might
her.
have to do that because everyone at our fan base loves our grandma, so she would want to talk on here and tell everyone her side of you
Right.
know,
Yep. Her side of it.
her side of it and why this is her hometown, so this is special to her, and she
And
could tell
I'm
some
gonna
backstories.
I'm gonna have to call my dad because I think there's some sort of connection between Diane and one of my aunts. Maybe they graduated together.
Oh, yeah,
So there might
find
be a
out.
connection there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a hold of my
have
dad and
to ask
ask,
'em.
and
Yeah.
because I remember there being something because my dad knew Danny, your grandpa, and
Yeah.
and Diane.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Small
you'll have
world.
to find out.
Yep.
And we
well,
can
Minot's Minot's bigger now, but it was a small town
Yeah.
50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, everybody knew everybody. We've grown up a little bit since then, but
Yeah.
not nearly a Fargo. Not even close to a
Not
Fargo.
Fargo.
But
Every time I go to Fargo and see how big it's getting, I'm like, oh my God. I
even
like living in Minot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even remember when we were little, where our grandma lives now. When they used, 10 years ago, there used to be nothing. It just is just building and building and building. And it's crazy.
So my kids were bowlers.
They're bowlers.
Bowling. Did you know you can get a college scholarship for bowling?
No,
And that's-
I'm honestly not surprised because you can get a college scholarship for gaming. nowadays.
I heard that, and my son
Esports,
my son keeps telling me this, and that's why he's gaming as much because I'm going to go to college for gaming.
Oh, no.
And I go, no, you're not.
That's funny.
Esports degree.
Esports degree.
Seen it the other day.
Yeah, that doesn't
Online.
make any
It's
sense to
crazy.
me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can get a college degree for anything now,
Right.
or go to school.
Go to school for anything.
Yeah.
But like a scholarship, like my daughter got it. She was a good enough bowler. We traveled for bowling like you guys traveled for basketball, like you traveled for racing.
Yeah,
We went all
that's
over the
unique.
Midwest.
Mhm.
We were in Minneapolis, we were down in South Dakota and
Wow.
Wisconsin, and she got a scholarship to Viterbo University in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
She made it 3 days, and she's home at Minot State now.
Oh, boy. 3 days.
No, but it's great. I love having my daughter. She
Yeah,
can come
home.
visit me here. If she was at college, she wouldn't been able to come see
That's
me
a long
yesterday.
drive
So
from,
yeah,
or long ways. That's cross.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy her being in town and at home, and
Yeah.
well.
Tim Kading checked in.
Oh,
You got
really?
some big
Okay.
names.
Hey Timmy,
TK.
TK.
We go
We-
hang
The-
out at Lunchstras in
Yeah,
the summer.
Lundstrom
When we go to Houston.
Motorsports, and TK is always there because he
Yeah.
races for Dave Lundstrom, and their whole family's awesome, and we're pretty good friends with Dave's daughter Reagan and his son Max. So
Yeah.
TK is a good guy. So
So we'll end it. Is
all
that
right,
okay?
Yeah.
And then
We'll see if Graham
it's
wants to get on.
12:25, so we're about a half hour away from Donnie being here.
Yeah.
Autographs. Come on down, get an autograph, get the girls' autographs, get Graham's autograph.
Yeah.
We got merchandise here.
Did you
Check
guys?
us
Do you guys
out.
have any more of them cars, or are you starting
We're
to run?
sold out.
Well,
Sold out?
we have one of each left, unless Mike sold them.
I'm glad I got my two when I did
you
yesterday.
got your two.
Yep.
We'll have more, though. In
Your
the future.
daughter, I think that was her yesterday.
Yep. That was her
yeah.
that bought 'em. Yep.
Her, she got a sweatshirt too. So
Yep. And the boyfriend,
And the boyfriend.
yeah,
which
they both got one.
real name Wyatt. I call him Norm.
Norm.
The only way you fit in my
He-
the only way you fit in my family is if you get a nickname.
Yeah. We got nicknames.
He got a sweatshirt too, I think.
Yep, he did.
Because
No.
they were trying them on. So yeah, we got merchandise here. So
When you we're not going to get on the boyfriend talk for you, but as a dad, when a good guy comes along and treats your daughter right, you keep them around. You take
Yeah.
care of
yeah,
them. Give
you
them
even bought the sweatshirt.
I
for
bought
him.
the sweatshirt. You give them a nickname, and that way they're here.
So
you know,
he passed.
he passed.
He
And it's
passed.
been a year and a half, but he finally passed.
He finally passed. All right.
Okay, so
All right,
we'll close out here. Where Jarrett Schatz just checked in. Hi, haha, Bob. Who's Bob?
Bob. That was our grandpa's name. I think.
Oh,
Our
okay.
nickname.
Yep. So
All right. Well, we'll see if we can go back on later.
yeah, anytime you tell me, I have a couple more. I'm gonna get these trackside guys on,
Oh yeah,
on for
you
a
do your
couple,
thing.
and then
we just took up all your time.
I'd rather do this than anything else. So
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife, if she watched at home, she goes, "You never stop talking." I don't.
Well, we had fun, so thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks
Yep.
for having us.
So we'll close it out. Show ends at 6 today. Come on down if you're in the Minot area. If you're not, watch these girls next weekend on FYE TV at Cedar Lake. I'm going to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like
Yep,
racing.
yeah.
We'll be there.
So we'll,
Check it out.
yeah. Can't wait to see you guys April or May 4th.
May 4th.
Yeah.
Yep.
May 4th in the
Speedway.
NOSA Sprints right out here at the Nodak Speedway. Return of NOSA. They haven't been here for quite a few years. So
Yeah.
return of NOSA.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll be
We'll
there.
go. We'll see you guys later.
Yep.